is your boy tonight? I hope he is a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. When I wake up, I'm willing to take my chances on whom I forget that you hate him more than you notice. I wrote this for you. You need him, I could be him, I could be him. Excellent, but I'm still trying. There's more than I can say for him. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Someday I'll appreciate in value. Get on my ass and call you. The meantime I'll sport my brand new fashion of waking up with pants on at 4 in the afternoon. You need him, I could be him, I could be him. Excellent, but I'm still trying. Well, that's more than I can say for him. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. And maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. I'm good to go, and I'm going nowhere fast. Could be worse, it could be taking you there with me. I'm good to go, but it looks like I'm still on my own. I'm good to go, but something golden. Though the motions I've been going through have failed. And I'm coasting on potential towards the wall at 100 miles an hour. When I say 2 more weeks, my foot is in the door. Yeah, all you can sleep in the wake of Saturday. When these open doors were open and dead. Saturday, yeah. When these open doors were open and dead. Pete and I attacked the lost Astoria with promise and precision. In a mess of youthful innocence. And I read about the afterlife, but I never really lived more than an hour. When I say 2 more weeks, my foot is in the door. Yeah, all you can see My foot is in the door. Me and Pete in the wake of Saturday, when these open doors are open and then Saturday, when these open doors are open and then landing on a runway in Chicago, and I'm drowning all my dreams of ever really seeing California. Cause you know what's in between is something sensual and such non-conventional ways. Tonight the headphones will deliver you words that I can't say. Tonight the headphones will deliver you words that I can't say. A million miles away. Tonight is all about we miss you, we miss you. Tonight is all about we miss you. Now I can't forget your style, your cynicism. Somehow it was like you were the first to listen to everything we said. My smile's an open wound without you, and my hands are tied to pages and to bring you back. Tonight the headphones will deliver you the words that I can't say. A million miles away. Tonight is all about we miss you, we miss you. Tonight is all about we miss you now. can't think you lucky stars. Everything I wish for will never come true. My heart is on my sleeve, wearing like a bruise of black eye. My best weakness means that I believe every single line you said. 'Cause every pane of glass is your pebbles tell the case for things I went through to avoid you. And every little pat on the shoulder for attention fails to mention I still hate you. But there's a light on in Chicago, and I know I should be home. All the colors of the street signs, they remind me of the pickup truck out in front of your neighbor's house. She took me down and said, boys like you are overrated, so save your breath. Loaded words and loaded friends, loaded goes to all head. 'Cause every pane of glass is your pebbles sound, the gates for things I went through to avoid you. And every little pat on the shoulder for attention fails to mention I still hate you. But there's a light on in Chicago, and I know I should be home. All the colors of the street signs, they remind me of the pickup truck out in front of your neighbor's house. You want apologies, girl, you might hold your breath until your breathing stops forever, forever. The only thing you'll get is this curse on your lips. I hope they taste of me forever. There's a light on in Chicago, and I know I should be home. And all the colors of the street signs, they remind me of the pickup truck out in front of your neighbors. With every breath I wish your body will be looking again. With every breath I wish your body would be looking again. But there's a love with every breath I wish your body would be looking again. With every breath I wish your body would be looking again. should be on. Whoa, I want to hate you half as much as I hate myself. You know that I could crush you with my voice. Whoa, I want to hate you half as much as I hate myself. You know that I could crush you with my voice. Steal on my roof and try to see you forgetting about me. Hide the details. I do want to know one thing. Wish that I was as invisible as you make me feel. Wish that I was as invisible as you make me feel. I want to hate you half as much as I hate want to hate you half as much as I hate want to hate you half as much as I hate myself. You know that I could crush you with my voice. Want to hate you half as much as I hate myself. You know that I could crush you with my voice. My heart takes a beat with these kids that I grew up with, living like life's going out of style. And you came to watch us play like a big shot talent, but at the end of the day, you know, we come from where we come. Hey Chris, you were our only friend, and I know this is blatant. We love you back. They'll say it's not worth it, so we'll leave this town in ruins, living like life's going out of style. And you came to watch us play like a big shot talent, but at the end of the day, you know, those busted lips we take back home. Hey Chris, you were our only friend, and I know this is blatant. We love you back. So, hey Chris, you were our only friend, and I know this is blatant. We love you back. I know you would be there anyway. So many scenes like these times will never fade. I know you would be there anyway. So many scenes like these times will never fade. Hey Chris, you were our only friend, and I know this is blatant. We love you back. Hey Chris, you were our only friend, and I know this is blatant. We love you back. I know you would be there anyway. So many scenes like these times will never fade. Hey Chris, you were our only friend, and I know this is blatant. We love you back. Sat outside my front window. This story's going somewhere. He's well hung and I am hanging on. There's a song on the radio that says and the sun burn out tonight. Reception lasts so warm, set it off. Bring us all right now tonight. Sunburn out tonight. The sun burn out tonight. Like that smoke you were for giving up on me. One just close will kill you sooner than my expectations. To my favorite liar, to my favorite score, I could have died with you. I hope you choke on those words that kiss that bottle. Confess. Now ask yourself, yeah, out of the inside. Said I loved you, but I lied. Let's play this game. Come when you catch fire. I wouldn't miss to put you out. Stop burning bridges. Drive off of them so I can is your boy tonight? I hope he is a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. When I wake up, I'm willing to take my chances on who, but forget that you hate him more than you notice. I wrote this for you. You need him, I could be him, I could be an accident, but I'm still trying. And there's more than I can say for him. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Someday I'll appreciate it that you get on my ass and call you. The meantime I'll sport my brand new fashion of waking up with pants on at 4 in the afternoon. You need him, I could be him, I could be an accident, but I'm still trying. And that's more than I can say for him. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. And maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. I'm good to go, and I'm going nowhere fast. Could be worse, it could be taking you there with me. I'm good to go, but it looks like I'm still on my own. I'm good to go for something golden, though the motions I've been going through have failed. And I'm coasting on potential towards the wall at 100 miles an hour. When I say 2 more weeks, my foot is in the door. Yeah, oh, you can't sleep in the wake of Saturday. When these open doors were open again. Saturday, yeah. When these open doors were open again. Pete and I attacked the lost Astoria with promise and precision. A mess of youthful innocence, and I read about the afterlife, but I never really lived more than an hour. When I say foot is in the door. Me and Pete in the wake of Saturday, when these open doors are open and then Saturday, when these open doors are open and then landing on a runway in Chicago, and I'm drowning all my dreams of ever really seeing California. Cause you know what's in between is something sensual and such non-conventional ways. Tonight the headphones will deliver you words that I can't. Tonight the headphones will deliver you words that I can't say. Tonight is all about we miss you. And I can't forget your style, your cynicism. Somehow it was like you were the first to listen to everything we said. My smile's an open wound without you, and my hands are tied to pages and to bring you back. Tonight the headphones will deliver you the words that I can't say. Tonight is all about we miss you now. Tonight the headphones will deliver you words that I can't say. Tonight the headphones will deliver you words that I can't say. Tonight the headphones will deliver you words that I can't say. These friends are new friends are golden. I am such a sucker, and I'm always the last to know. My insides are copper, I kill to make them know. Conversation got
Good afternoon, everyone. You, of course, watching the LoL Collegiate League 2017 Spring Term, powered by Lenovo. Challenge what you know. And of course, we are your shoutcasters for today. I am Atlas, and with me is Vulcan. And of course, we're in the third week, getting into the Metro West Conference here. So let's have a review of the format we have for the Spring Term.
So what you said, that we are on the third week.
Yeah.
Metro East, it's a new start for them. I
Yep.
mean, we don't have any. They're gonna face each other in a brand new setting, new teams, new members. But before that, we have to review. Let's see, what are these teams fighting for? What's the format of our spring? Here it is, guys. But before that, here's the schedule to see what's the upcoming, lineup of our matches.
So we're going to see all these teams from the University Belt. And the first match is going to be Adamson University Penguin Authority versus University of Caloocan City Ninja Turtles. And that's going to be our first match for today. Followed is another match from Adamson University, and it will be against TUP Sick Parvis Magna. Followed by that, onwards is going to be Far Eastern University Institute of Technology, the Tamarars versus the Technological University of the Philippines, Manila, Sick Parvis Magna again. And then it's going to be another UCC match against University of the East, and the Eastern Warriors. And our last two matches will be, of course, UST Teletigers versus Tamarars, and then UE Eastern Warriors versus UST again.
It's actually an exciting last match because we always seen USD actually consistent. Same as UE, they have strong mid laners and a strong team. But with the recent changes, let's see how they fare in the new setting of the spring term. We're third of the Metro East.
And yeah, definitely Metro West is one of those very, very competitive, conference here in the LCL. So let's look at the format of the spring term. So there's going to be 48 conference series, and all of these have 48 teams across all 6 conferences with 8 teams each. And of course, when we get to inter-conference groups, we'll be getting 2 or 3, depending on the conference team from each. And it's going to be 16 teams fighting it out in inter-conference. And of course, that'll be narrowed down to 4 teams for the quarters and the semis for the playoffs. And the 2 strongest teams across all conferences will be facing it out in the finals to become the LCL champions for the spring term.
I mean, look at that, Atlas. From 48 teams to 16 teams to 4 and then 2 to the finals.
Yeah, and the qualifiers were over 150 teams. So it was a very bloody, very competitive match. LCL is always a spectacle when it comes to these things. Very competitive. Lots of raw talent just waiting to be unleashed over all the competitive scene.
Yeah, we have Metro West, Metro East, South, North, besides Mindanao. From these, conferences, we're gonna pick the top teams.
Yeah.
And from that, we're gonna get 16 inter-conference groups. Then with those 16 inter-conference groups, we're gonna narrow it down to 4 teams. That is the playoffs, and after the playoffs is the finals. I mean, it's going to be really, stressful for the new teams or the old teams. They're actually used to this format.
They are.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting, let's say, cutthroat.
Yeah, it's a cutthroat. It's a very, very hard test of talent for everyone involved. So,
and onto our first game, it's going to be Adu versus UCC. It's going to be interesting. But before that, we are still in our, search and win trivia. So here
are the mechanics for the search and win promo. You are going to have to watch the LCL stream and watch out for the trivia. That chest icon is going to pop up, and with that is going to be the link, and you have to go to the link and answer the form completely from the name to the school to answering the trivia question. And if you are the first, you will have a mystery gift, which will, of course, be inserted into your account if you get it within 5 working days, I believe. So you have to always keep tuned, keep watching LCL. You can get that free mystery gift. Plus, you get to see high levels of play of League of Legends. The collegiate level is actually really, really interesting. Lots of, as I said, raw talent. So let's actually get into our game 1. This is going to be the Adamson University Penguin Authority versus University of Caloocan City Ninja Turtles, and let's get into the draft phase.
So on to the drafting phase. I mean, Adamson University against the UCC, University of Caloocan City. What can you say about these 2 teams, Atlas?
It's very interesting actually, because Adamson had to make a lot of roster changes over the preseason. Lots of changes. Of course, that's going to change the team dynamic from last year. And what's interesting here was UCC won against Adamson. And Adamson, that was their only loss. So going into this first day of their matches here in the LCL is going to be a revenge match. I'm guessing that over the course of the break, it was just Adamson honing their skills, maintaining their form while looking for new ways to defeat Ninja Turtles. Because in the qualifiers, if they faced off and Adamson only lost against UCC, then definitely there was something in Adamson's play that UCC was able to counter. So of course they're going to look for ways to work around that.
And with that said, I mean, we're also running the patch 7.4. It's
Lots
not
of changes.
it's not about, you know, honing your mechanical skills. It's about adapting to the recent patches.
Yes.
A huge nerf to overall all champions in the right now in the scene right now. We have the Maokai being nerfed because of the mastery.
Too much damage coming from tanks. So basically this patch, as Vulcan said in our discussions earlier, it's more about delineating tanks and bruisers. You can't be both. So there's going to be a lot of decision making for the compositions here for all of the teams here for this week 3 of the LCL. It's going to be them. How are they going to adapt to the changes to the mastery, the offensive masteries, to the lethality items? It's really interesting to see because that's how fast-paced the Philippine meta is, even in the PGS. If a patch changes, we get it. We don't have a tournament round, so it's going to be all about adaptation for these teams.
So no doubt. With that being said, let's see how these two teams are picking up. We have a Tom Kench, a Rengar, and a Rumble on Adamson University's blue side against UCC, a Varus and a Graves and a Lulu. I mean, that's going to be obviously a Graves jungle. But with the recent, you know, nerfs to the masteries, we also have the nerfs to the battle trance,
Yeah.
double-edged sword, bounty hunter.
All those
from
additional damage masteries are now from 5% going down to 3%
3%
max.
3% max, but right now it's going to be 3.5%. So we can't expect that the Graves is going to snowball the same way he did with the 5% increase.
Yeah, because
so
that is way too strong.
That is way too strong. And with the Poppy also, we see a lock-in on Poppy.
Ooh.
It's really about, you know, what tanks you're supposed to be. Not bruisers. They can be bruisers.
They're just supposed to soak up the damage.
Yeah, soak up damage.
Disrupt the enemy and not, you know, one-shot the AD carry and what that bruisers used to always do, like Maokai jumping on your AD carry. But so now they've really changed up. So here we're going to see that Adamson wants a lot more damage and a team fighting with their top lane, which is going to be Dazai on that Rumble. And for the top lane, of course, from UCC, right on time, is going to be Michelangelo on that Jace. And yeah, the ranged Jace against the Rumble, I think, is going to be a tough matchup for the Rumble in the first few stages of the game.
I think that Jace is going to the mid lane, to be honest.
is it?
And the top lane is
Oh,
going
yeah,
to
the
be
Poppy,
Poppy in the
sorry.
top lane against the Tom Kench. Tom Kench is actually that annoying champion where if he gets 3 stacks, he can either stun you or swallow you up and deal percentage magic damage towards you. So Tom Kench is actually a nice pickup for if you want to really make someone
It's
who
going for
is
the bot lane here. Cadenza on the Tom Kench with that Jin, keeping that really high damage long range sniper very safe. On the side of Leonardo and Donatello, however, is going to be, of course, long range poke, still sniping with that Varus. Of course, the lethality items kind of make him a little weaker, but still, lethality is still king in terms of raw damage output, and that's going to help. And Lulu is going to help that survive a lot more in the laning phase. Has a lot of poke as well in laning, so it's going to be a pain here for Adamson if they don't play around that. For the top lane, it's going to be actually the Poppy versus the another Yordle Rumble.
The matchup in the mid lane, though, it's going to be Zed against the Jace.
Zed against Jace.
Their summoner's actually an exhaust, so
Yeah,
we can
exhaust.
expect a duel, an early duel.
Lots of dueling. They're taking this exhaust to mitigate the burst coming from their lane opponent here. Very nice pickup compared to usual Flash Ghost Rooms or Ignite. Not that popular anymore in Season 7. They're opting for because it doesn't scale as well as exhaust. So, but it's also very useful against the burst, as you said. And for the first few levels, it might actually be Splinter on a short lead against Jizzle here.
I'm not how Splinter is going to deal with GC with that Zed, because in terms of burst, I think Jace has more damage.
Yeah, Jace has a lot more damage, consistent as well. After his initial burst, he can keep brawling it out with a Mercury Hammer. Lots of abilities in his kit that will help him to that endeavor. But when it comes to the roaming, when it comes to the assassination, just diving in, GC might actually be able, if he plays the lane right, was able to consistently roam, he will be able to.
So to our
outdamaged
viewers out
he plays
there,
here.
who are you rooting for? Is it, the Adamson University, or is it going to be UCC, University of Caloocan City, who's going to win this? It's going to be an interesting match because we've seen a return of, let's say the supports which are proper this time, not anymore that Zyro and Malzahar. It's going to be Tom Kench supporting that Jin. In case if Jin is in a sticky situation, there's that Tom Kench.
But
But
just has to swallow him up and take him to safety.
yeah, but it also works double way. I mean, if Jin is their main damage dealer, if Jin is absent like for 3 seconds, that's a lot of window of damage gone from that team.
Yeah, that's going to be what UCC will want to do, is that they force the Tom Kench to swallow anyone, and in that short time that their carrier damage dealer is not able to act, that's their time to just go straight for their other champions here. Can go on GC, can go on Dazai. Without that Jin there to do consistent damage, it's going to be really painful if that weakness is exploited in that short amount of time. It seems like their composition here, with a Graves, with a Jace, they can easily take that opportunity if they need to.
Yeah, but in terms of ganking, do you think Graves is gonna have an easier time ganking?
Definitely not.
Because of the Tom Kench, right?
Yeah, against the jungler here, the Rengar. The Rengar has a lot more options for ganking. He has the Bola Strike. He has so much damage coming from his kit survivability as well. Has the leap to go from brush to champion. So he's gonna have a lot more pressure in the game. But if the Graves is able to just counter gank and catch him out, I believe that his grit, his kit, his ability to kite around, I think that'll actually help him out. But he needs to time his rotations well. Because even with the raw damage output from Graves, you can't really gank. It's like Shyvana, where you don't have CC, you only have the slow from your smoke screen. So if you don't get the right counter gank, you're not going to get those kills. So it's better for him to either out-rotate the jungler here from ADU, or just go power farm, wait until you get the collateral damage, and then just go for the straight out burst.
And to our viewers out there, we are streaming on YouTube, gaming.youtube.com/phgarena/live. We are also on Twitch, twitch.tv/Garena, PH Esports, and we are also on our Facebook Live.
Yeah, just check out the LCL official page here, and I believe that is facebook.com/LCLPH.
And we're also running the Search and Win trivia, so guys, stay tuned for that Search
keep
and Win
your
trivia.
eyes peeled for that search and win. Get your fingers ready to type that out. This is going to be, and you also have to pay attention to the match, because the trivia there will be related to the match and the teams playing in the current game. So always keep your eyes peeled and keep those fingers on that keyboard. Of course, you're still watching LCL 2017 Spring Term. So far, though, coming into this game, I mentioned that Metro West is a very, very exciting conference to play because of how competitive it is. I believe it had the most participants in the qualifiers. 50. That's like over a third of the total qualifier registrants for LCL, and it was very bloody. And it was also the one that finished the latest, because there were lots of teams that needed to do tiebreakers, very, very close matches as well, so you could have 3 or 4-way ties, and that's gonna be really, and that's intense. It's just so competitive, and it's gonna be exciting because these are the 8 teams that survived all of those bloody matches.
With that being said, I mean, Atlas, what can you say about the Adamson Universities versus the UCC? What kind of story they have? I mean, we all know that they have lost, previously just once. This is the revenge match for them. How are they going to play out in your opinion? I mean, they have the Rengar, will be aggressive, but with the recent changes to the Keystone Masteries, plus the Tier 2 Masteries, the Bounty Hunter, and the Battle Trance, that's a huge nerf on Graves, where Graves really relies on early burst damage.
Yeah, and I think that the Rengar will have an easier time here because his main masteries, I don't think were affected that much compared to the red masteries. The blue masteries in the middle are actually his go-to, and those weren't changed much compared to, say, Fervor,
right.
and the
Mostly
others.
to the tanks, the tank meta is actually
it's supposed to delineate the tanks here, and a little bit of lethality also changes, but both of these tanks build lethality. But I think Rengar is less affected by the changes overall of the patch.
Who's your favorite, champion in this matchup right now?
right now, I am looking at how both of these junglers are going to change the match. Because I always say that junglers are one of the most important players in the game in this current meta, because they control the flow of the game. They dictate the objectives that are taken. They dictate which lanes get pressure. So I'm really looking at either the Rengar here, or the Graves. So those are two players to look at here.
I mean, the Rengar and the Graves is something you have to look after, but I have to also more lean on in the top lane.
Ooh.
The top lane is really going to be
interesting as well, because
yeah, I mean,
they are the ones that are most affected by the tank bruiser delineation for this patch.
except for that Rumble.
Yeah, and the Rumble doesn't get affected by those AD scaling mastery changes, so it's going to be interesting as well. And once he reaches level 6, those teleport plays with the Equalizer are definitely going to be explosive.
Have you been watching the PGS lately, Atlas? You've seen the Equalizer, right?
Yeah, the
How much damage,
so much impact.
and also the objective lockdown of it compared to Poppy. The Keeper's Verdict is very hard to land.
Yeah,
Plus-
very hard to land, and it might go wrong in a bunch of ways. If you've seen a few of IPT's matches, still very good at what Poppy's supposed to do, which is to be a bodyguard, which is to be a tank. Rumble, on the other hand, wants to keep fighting, wants to get in there, get that damage with a flame spitter, and then control and lock down those objectives.
So it's about Rumble being that offensive damage-dealing champion, whereas Poppy is more of a champion
Defensive,
who
yeah, more of a bodyguard.
defensive, provides kiting for the ADC. But in terms of matchup, I'm leaning more towards Adamson University.
The same, actually. I'm really interested to see how the Zed and how the Rengar synergize. Mid lane, jungle mid synergy is always very important in these competitive games, but also on how that Rumble will be used to control those objectives. Because, yeah, the Equalizer is very, very strong, and I'm always interested to see how this champion will perform in the games.
And guys, reminding you again, we are still running our Search and Win trivia. So please stay tuned when you're watching the game. There's going to be a link that's going to appear in the stream. Type in that link quickly. It's going to be a trivia about the game that you just watched. Answer quickly, and you'll be winning the mystery gift, which will be inserted in 5 working days. So just because you got the correct answer, we'll announce it. You won't get the gift immediately. There is still that processing time.
Of course, we are loaded onto the Rift here for Game 1 of Week 3 of the LoL Collegiate League 2017 Spring Term, powered by Lenovo. It's going to be Adamson University Penguin Authority versus University of Caloocan City Ninja Turtles. You can actually see the names of their players: the Donatello, Michelangelo, Splinter, Raphael.
A nice reference to the team. It shows.
Dank
It just goes to
reference
show
right there.
that that team name is complementing their, summoner's name. But without further ado, let's get straight to the first game of the 3rd week of the Lenovo LCL 2017 Spring Term Challenge. What you know.
It looks like Adams University is trying to catch out someone here around the bot side. Seems like they are starting in the blue side here. It looks like they will be laying down some of that vision here to wash out for UCC's moves.
Minions have spawned.
So he's just going to stay there and ward on that blue side jungle here. On the other hand, Adamson just focuses on trying to protect their red buff here in the bot side tower.
I mean,
It's gonna be the start here.
interestingly, do you expect that Graves is gonna play it the same way? The lethality and the Yomu's ghost plays, all of them went down by at least 5 with the 60% lethality right now. I'm not sure how that Graves is gonna fare in terms of early damage compared to where he was really strong in patch 7.3.
It just built full lethality in one shot. And I think that the changes to Yomu's is usually the first item go-to for AD carries and these assassins. I think the 5 lethality, while small, is super impactful in the early game, and it will actually provide more decision-making for these champions on what first item they're going to get. It might not be immediately the Yomu's now. It might actually be a different AD item, might even go for a different lethality item.
Yeah, because the Yomu's Ghost Plate provides the most lethality, which is 20. Now it's been reduced to, let's say, 15 lethality compared to, patch 7.3. So we're gonna expect the jungler, maybe it's gonna, let's say, maybe I don't need the lethality right now. Maybe
Yeah.
I don't need Yomu's right now. I should build maybe Warriors and Chatman. That provides more AD.
And
plus
some CDR as well.
cooldown
That's
reduction
gonna-
is important.
So yeah, that might actually be the decision here, but we're going to see how they've adapted to the changes here, because these are changes that, while they seem small in numbers, they're super impactful to how the details of the game play out. But until they do get the gold for those items, we're going to see how they're going to build those items out. And so far, though, seems like Orf here is going to try and go for a little bit of counter. Counter jungling here does not find anything except the Krugs. So, yeah, this actually
It's actually a really slow-paced start.
slow
seeing
play
that
start.
This is their revenge match,
Mhm.
so you can expect that these two teams, they're not gonna really give away too much information. Don't risk too much, and not to mention with the recent nerfs, I don't think they had enough time to play or practice.
Yeah.
Or really adapted to the changes. So what they expect their champions to do at their full potential might not be the same.
So they're going to have to play it out real slow, see what their champions can do here, because of course revenge is a dish best served cold. So definitely going to wait it out here before going all in, even with their assassins, with their two assassins here on the side of Adamson, with Jissy here and Orf. Gonna see how it all plays out, because I think the most explosive lanes here are gonna be either top lane or our mid lane.
I mean, we can also see that Raphael is trying to rotate to the bot lane. There is a
Ooh.
ward. Tom can spot that plus the Jin. It's not going to be a really, successful gank, seeing that is a Tom Kench.
Yeah, and actually that allows Dazai here to just go in straight for the trades here fearlessly, knowing that Raphael is all the way down there in the bot lane.
And also the
Not-
Doran's
not
shield
com-
pickup is going to be difficult
Mhm.
for, Michelangelo to even do anything. But let's see.
Let's see.
Raphael making his way for his second gank to the mid lane. GC spots him. He might go away, but instead burns his flash.
Yeah, burns the flash, so does not actually use the shadow swap there. So that's the flash down for the mid lane here. Might actually go for a repeat gap, but of course it's still very hard to gank as a Graves. Actually, still very hard to gank as a Graves here if you don't have the right opportunity. But yeah, bot lane is going to be a lot safe for Simone here.
I'm not pretty sure how, Raphael is really having its hard time finding his time to gank. I mean, it's really difficult, but Danzai
Here it comes though.
overextending his will be get away. He still has his flash. He might get away with his flash though. He won't be burning his flash. He gets away safely.
Yeah, and in that kind of positioning, most other junglers, that would just be a sure kill. But Graves, even with a red buff, it's so hard to get even an overextended kill because of the way his kit works. Lots of damage and pressure, but Dazai with the junk shield and the speed boost coming from that just is able to escape very, very easily. Does not have to burn a lot except to recall and to teleport back.
I mean, we can clearly see what Raphael is trying to do. Provide pressure, make the opponent waste that summoner like flash or heal. But in the top lane, Danzai knew really well that his champion has the shield. But it's really difficult for him to gank. I mean, he's really struggling. He didn't burn the flash in the top lane. So what happens to him? He loses jungle time. Look at the CS of that
yeah,
card.
it's 40 to
13-9.
15.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's actually a lot, and that's Orf just power farming for now. He knows that his champion might actually not be as strong from the previous patch. So right now he's just power farming because that's the stable and 100% sure option is to just farm up because jungle monsters give a considerable amount of gold. So just farm up here, reach level 6, and then you can gank for sure.
Danzai really showing the presence in the top lane, zoning out the top lane of Michelangelo. Look at that. 23 CS to 55. How much is he struggling? In the bot lane, clearly, you can see the skill of plays. But I'm really scared for Adamson University. They're not really monopolizing what they're good at right now. UCC really falls behind in damage in the early because of Raphael. I mean, having a hard time with the Graves, but I'm not sure how they're gonna come back from that. It's really a tight game, 0-0, but the CS is really showing off.
The CS on the bot lane here actually, because it's a lot more safer to CS as Varus here with Leonardo. Has a piercing arrow here because it's actually quite dangerous to go too near to the Tom Kench here. Might actually be stunned and then swallowed. Very, very bad time there. I would not want to be in the belly of that beast.
I mean, that's the thing about, resourceless champions like Rumble against the Poppy, where Poppy is very mana hungry in the early phase. Picking up the corrupting potion is wise, but clearly Dazai with the Doran shield amplifying the Ruby Crystal will be going for the Haunting Gaze for magic penetration.
Yeah, just a lot of Magpan as well. Able to push through the Null Magic Mantle, which I believe will be a Spectre's Cowl. Will be built into a Spectre's Cowl here. And actually it's so hard it's so hard for Michelangelo here to go for the usual Poppy build. Going for that Bomby Cinder, he can't go for the Sunfire Cape, because what that means is just Dazai is just gonna kill him a lot easier.
Look at that. Raphael
without-
is actually
without
there near the
Magres.
Krugs. Might
Ooh.
cancel Orf. He's spotted by a ward. Backs away.
Might actually be a ward
There's already a fight
here.
going
Oh,
on. Orf may have made the wrong choice. Equalizer on the floor to burn the enemy, but Orf will be going down, giving the first blood to Michelangelo. Who's going to be next? It's going to be Dazai, dangerously low.
Oh.
Failed flash, giving the kill to Splinter.
And this actually opens the opportunity for the bot lane of Adamson to go for a kill while Donatello is away from Leonardo, but that's still first blood and another kill compared to only one in the bot lane. They might actually just transition this to a little bit of damage and pressure in the tower there, and now double buffs onto Michelangelo. That's going to make his job a lot easier than the top lane.
Oh, wow. The trade in the top lane was something
Yeah.
Adamson University Ado didn't want to giving a kill, two kills to UCC, but they have traded in the bot lane, but that was miscommunication.
Still, and that was miscommunication as well, because you saw that the damage there from the equalizer in the initial burst. I think if Orf went in there onto Michelangelo immediately, and rather Raphael, it would have been a kill to at least trade out. But instead, he kept running back, was not able to leap back because he was out of the brush, and that means no kill for them, just straight up first blood, losing first blood and another life.
Not just that,
that's a lot of
Splinter
gold.
rotating to the top lane. Instead, you know, it's clearly to see that there is the Serenator out of movement speed combat. We've seen, you know, it's time that in this game right now, lethality items have to be picked up. There's going to be rotations. They have to adapt.
Yeah, for these assassins, yeah, I think it's still going to be the Yomu's pickup here, or rather at least another serrated Dirk item. But even with the kill here, you can see that Dazai has a lot of like 5 waves over Michelangelo in terms of CS. So I believe this just equalizes
That is huge.
their
though.
gold. But still, the double buff and that XP lead allows Michelangelo to just catch up a little bit and just equalize the fighting there into trading there in the top lane.
I mean, that fight is what Michelangelo needed. Picking up the Bami Center Spectre Scroll,
Ooh.
we can't expect Dazai will be the same playstyle as he did in the previous top lane. So let's see. Oh, Donatello.
Orf might actually want here because he does have the thrill of the hunt ready.
Tom catch,
Opens it
nice
up.
flag, 2v3. What's gonna happen? Teleport from the top lane. Leonardo is gonna do a summary, but that's not gonna happen. Leonardo goes down. Here comes another teleport from the top lane. Dazai is here. Equalizer on the floor. Oh, that's going to be
Oh.
pure black right there. That's going to be a lot of damage done by Michelangelo all alone, giving Orf that kill. It's going to be 3-0 trade.
Kills Orf there, and they might try to go for this Cloud Drake, but without their jungler, it might be very risky with Raphael trying to clear that bot lane, but it doesn't seem like they want to contest this. It's just a Cloud Drake. It's not super impactful, but it will be used for Adamson's composition. They have the Zed, they have the Rengar, so this little bit of move speed coming from the Cloud Drake might actually help them out-rotate and roam.
That was
But
actually a really nice curtain call.
yeah, that was a very nice curtain call to actually open the play there, coming from Adamson University, and the Abyssal, the journey, the
Abyssal
journey,
Voyage
yeah,
is gonna
Abyssal
really
Voyage
help.
that are coming from the Tom Kench, able to get the Orf in position that he needs to be, and when the Rengar's already behind you, man.
The keeper's verdict was used to fling away the enemies, but I think what happened there when Sadenza actually swallowed Simon, he actually survived that team
Yeah,
flash.
let's look at it here. The slow coming from Simone, even with the nerfs to the slow duration, allows Orb, even with the Hugify here, gives them the damage that they need, and the equalizer there to just block off all escape routes. Even if the keeper's verdict gets away 2 of the team, 2 of the damage dealers, rather 2 members from Adu, the 2 damage dealers are still there, Simone and Cadenza, Simone and Dazai. So, of course, that's still going to be a dead Poppy, and actually a very nice play there, transitioning it to a Cloud Drake. And yeah, that was actually very good from Adu.
I'm not sure that Michelangelo knew what he was doing with the Poppy, but in my opinion, I think the keeper's verdict was mistimed. Here comes the
Another
next
one.
second one. Curtain call opening again. Leonardo has been slowed. 3rd bullet, 4th bullet, all to him. However, the rapid growth will save his life.
Yep, the rapid growth there actually very useful against these assassins. The knock-up as well be very useful, but is there going to be any pressure here Oh, it might actually be a mid lane fight.
An equalizer. Oh, set it up again. Splinter is actually in a bad position. Exiles burn onto GC. He might go all in with the burst. He secures together. It's on a killing spree, but he might go down. Giving a shutdown goal to Dazai.
That's actually very bad for UCC, that 1-for-1. But the shutdown there actually gives Adu a little bit of a catch-up there from their previous killing spree of Splinter. And I think that was unnecessary from GC there to keep chasing. Because that was a full health Dazai with boots, with the junk shield, will be able to catch up very easily to Splinter. That death was not necessary there to keep chasing in there. It burnt a flash, but still very, very unnecessary to go for that. Dazai could have handled it after the initial burst coming from the death mark. But
I mean, Sedan and Simon really controlling the bot lane. Did you see the position of those traps?
Yeah.
In case of a gank happens, Raphael will have a hard time with that Graves. I mean, there's no sort of, really huge hard CC that Graves has, so we can see a gap. Oh, that's going to be a quick draw reverse. Orf has not seen that coming. Another Colado Drama to flank him away. Jesse goes down again. Splinter all onto Orf, same as Raphael. Orf flashes away, will be getting away though.
No, it doesn't seem like it because Donatello is
Here comes
there.
Donatello. He has to full bury. Instead, use the bola strike, but the shock blast will finish him off.
Yeah, Edge of Night actually the first pickup for Splinter instead of the Yomus. Still lethality, still allows him to get that hit off onto Orf, and I think that was a little bit of misprediction coming from Orf. Gonna go for the jump, but then the quick draw actually reverses their positions.
And the collateral damage also went him over the wall.
And so what happened there was Orf had to circle a very long way to help GC, and by that point he was already down, and then it just follows. That's two 1v2s in a row.
Orf is really falling up into the 15-minute mark.
Yeah,
1-3.
1-3.
He has the Warrior Enchantment plus the Phage, but the Black Cleaver has been reworked. It is built now for tanky bruises. Let's say like Jarvan or Renekton.
It's not made to be an assassin item anymore because the
Not
AD got
anymore.
reduced, but the
80.
health value went up.
But the cooldown reduction is still valuable for a Rengar. But I'm not sure that's a really efficient way.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm definitely doubting the Phage. I don't think it's a optimal pickup. Even with the nerfs, I think you should just still go for lethality if Orf wants to assassinate. Because I think that's going to be the key to their fights here, is that GC and Orf go for two separate targets, or even one target if Donatello is way too much of a threat because of his wild growth. That's basically the game plan here, is to open up with Simone, slow down the targets, scare them away a little bit, pressure them, and then what happens here is Dazai is going to go for the equalizer to prevent their escape, while Orf and GC just shred them to bits. But with that Black Cleaver, that's going to be a little more sustained fights coming from Orf here rather than the assassinations we were expecting.
A denied gank for University spotted by that Scrying Plant. That's going to give information to Michelangelo to really hog that turret.
But yeah, it's still going to be lots of pressure on that turret from Dazai. With a wave clear coming from the Flame Spitter as well, the resourceless champion, as you said, very easily shoves the lane down, applying a lot of pressure, and the minion lead on the side of Dazai, while it's not as big as it was before, and that's still like 4 waves over Michelangelo.
Gotta agree with that. Plus, Dazai has the Leander's Torment, and with the next Ocean Drake live in 30 seconds left, UCC has to transition towards this. They cannot give a high priority Drake like an Ocean Drake to Adamson University.
Yeah, ideally it would be, say, Mountain or Infernal, because both of these teams are very explosive team fights. And that can transition to, say, very powerful objectives. But UCC, Ninja Turtles, really wants his Ocean Drake. It's going to help them with their mana regeneration, helps them sustain while poking away with the Shock Blast and the piercing arrows. It's going to help them a lot if they do get this. So it doesn't seem like Adu wants to give it up just yet.
We might see, Jissy picking up also a Black Cleaver, same as Orf. Instead, look at how Splinter is itemizing. Another Sorditor, a second lethality item, and with a KDA of 5-1, with that huge gold lead, picking up a Tear of the Goddess, that is going to, that shows how Splinter has that much money.
Yeah, that much money he just saved. He is ahead enough that the Tear of the Goddess won't delay his damage. Actually picking up Ninja Tabai both of these mid laners to mitigate a little bit of the damage that each other brings out, because both of them have a lot of burst, and mitigating that just a bit, they already have lots of damage.
And not just that, the Nightshade, active passive, the spell shield will
Mhm.
deny that death mark.
Yeah, so what's going to happen here is Splinter might have a little more, with reaction time, might actually have a bigger chance here. Cadenza.
Splinter really trying to, gauge his damage
Mhm.
against the Tom Kench.
Who does have a cloth armor there, and still, trying to scout out that bot lane here. Lots of vision here, but no one's making a move, direct move against Drake here. Just building up that vision around the Ocean Drake, because they really, really want that. Especially UCC. It's going to help with what they want to do, which is to poke away, and just wear them down with those lethality enhanced shock blasts and piercing arrows. It seems like they do want to go for this top lane instead on the side of Adu, forcing Splinter and Raphael to respond.
Splinter's all alone. Here comes the Shield of the Hunt. The Death Mark also teleported from the top lane. Splinter will not be going down. That's going to be a disengage for Adamson University with Michelangelo on the scene.
Not a lot of value gain from that teleport. It did scare away the gank, but of course the exhaust already scared him away. This actually gives the opportunity for Simone to get this bot lane the first third of the game. And of course the first third of the game is not as strong as it was before. It's not super must-have, but still that was practically free there.
That is control also for the Drake. Here comes the fight. Curling goes over the fight. Splinter is dangerously low. Michelangelo blocking the bullets, but Splinter is climbing down against the wall. He flashed away with the rabbit girl from the Lulu. Here comes the equalizer on the floor. No one will be going down as of yet. They might re-engage, but UCC backing away, respecting Adamson University's damage.
Michelangelo did a pretty good job there of being a bodyguard for the team, and Donatello, of course, with the wild growth, just keeping them alive. But it seems like Adu will have the Ocean Drake advantage here if they were willing to get it. But it seems like UCC does not want to give them that Ocean Drake. It might transition to a pressure here. Do you want that dragon, or do you want to keep your mid lane turret? That's going to be the decision that they have to make, and they have to make it now. It seems like they do want to go for this turret. The fight might begin.
Michelangelo pinning away that Tom Kench might be a wrong choice. Chain of Corruption failed to land. Here comes the damage from Michelangelo in the middle of the fray, but he's dangerously low. Splinter goes all in for the burst, fails, takes a turret hit. Here comes Shield of the Hunt. This might be a cleanup, guys. So Orb secures the kill. Michelangelo flashed away. Will it be a second kill? Flash bones by Simon will be securing his third kill. Sadenza with a Abyssal Voyage repositioning. Leonardo is a bit dangerously low. It might be a cleanup fight for Adamson University.
That was a very explosive, and actually this gives the Ocean Drake to Adamson University. That's going to be a 3.2k gold lead plus the dragons coming here. That's a lot of stats as well, and wow, that damage there. Both teams were really on the verge of just getting destroyed, but having all of your members there vulnerable to the Rengar just allows him to clean up. And even though it was one kill by the Rengar, that actually opens up their defenses for the rest of Adu to just dive in.
And not just that, the fact that Dazai with the equalizer.
Yeah, the equalizer there was super impactful. The end there.
And you gotta, here's the replay here. Let's see what happened.
Here, and that it just seems like they might be in a bad position here because the Chain of Corruption's hit. But look here, the damage coming from the rest of their kit will manifest here. Sprinter tries to go for the dive, but a few turret shots there, plus the dancing grenades allows him to just pounce in there, get the damage that they need, and the flash will open up for 2 kills on the side of Adu. So it's definitely just a little bit too overcommitted from UCC on that fight, which opens them up for Adu's counter-strike.
So with Adu picking up 2 Drakes, Ocean, a very useful Drake, and the next Drake is Mountain. UCC has to step it up, secure vision on that Drake, and do not lose in trade fights.
So it seems like they will want to go for this top lane turret. That's the next objective in their eyes. Cadenza. Oh,
that's going to be invasive privacy. Leonardo goes down without any trouble. Deleted from the map.
Yeah, it's going to be 0 and 3 with the assassination gear coming from Orf and GC. It seems like he did finish his... yeah, it's going to be the Black Cleaver here with a Kindle Gem pickup definitely a Black Cleaver, but it doesn't seem like he's having any trouble with assassination. That little bit of health coming from the Kindle Gem will be a little more useful for keeping him alive against Splinter and Raphael's damage.
Pings all over the map, signaling Michelangelo to get away from that top lane, giving Adamson University the second turret of the game, while
Yeah.
UCC securing no objectives or whatsoever with a 4K gold lead.
That mid lane first tier turret actually is just one hit away from being destroyed. So UCC might want to focus on that. But it seems like Adu with their rotations will make it very hard for them. GC there for the wave clear in his own lane. Keep making it very hard for UCC to get to reap the gold from that mid lane turret.
And not to mention that Jin, Yuma's Ghost Blade and an Infinity Edge.
Yep, that's a lot of
That's
damage.
gonna proc so well with the fourth bullet. That's what happened in the team fight. UCC lost in terms of pure damage. Leonardo has the piercing arrow, but that's not enough. With the recent nerfs in the masteries and the lethality, it is showing how damage-wise a virus is falling off.
Yeah, because earlier we said that he's ahead enough. He's ahead enough in terms of CS and pressure that he can afford to build the tier of the goddess. And now actually has the lucidity boots for the CDR, but now instead Simone goes straight for the IE, no longer pure lethality, but still very painful crits, plus the serrated Dirk. That actually allows him to out damage and out value Leonardo in these fights, I believe, is the reason for actually going straight for another Zeal, an attack speed item, a stack speed and crit item. So he's going straight back to what Jin was before. Instead of going full lethality, he's now going for a little more traditional. Here, Splinter in trouble.
Splinter gets followed up by Sadenza, might sell up for Death Mark. No, that's not gonna happen. Splinter backs away under the turret. Clear of the hunt. Death Mark still pursues the equalizer and a current call to clean up the fight. UCC is in a big heap of trouble. Michelangelo a bit late to the party with 2 members of UCC left to defend this turret. Adamson University might answer.
Oh, they are pings
Baron
going on to Baron here, and that will be very, very difficult for UCC to match. This is going to be a relatively quick Baron here at this level. Actually, no, it's not that quick because of the Jin having to reload. This might actually open up Leonardo and Michelangelo, but I don't think it will be enough. It's still going to be a very easy Baron
This is a very
here, unless
risky
the
Baron.
keeper's verdict.
That is a very risky Baron. Adamson still sticking towards it, but an execute from the Baron. They have still secured the Baron buff.
I think that's worth it.
That's worth it. It's an execute.
Yeah, it's an execute. It's a free recall, quote unquote.
It's a free recall, 30-second recall.
Yeah,
huh?
30-second recall. It's a secret meta, secret technique. Looking at here, that even the wild growth does not save Splinter because of the placement of the equalizer, because of the way they focus. It's pretty much a 5v3 here in the mid lane. Leonardo way too late to the party. The chain of corruption does not actually hit. It seems like GC wanted to go for another death mark onto Leonardo, but he backs away just in time. It's going to be really hard for the wave clear here, coming from Leonardo. Ooh,
Simone burning the flash.
Yeah.
I mean, like what you said, Atlas, that was a great use of synergy.
Just straight up focus fire onto the targets there. And equalizer.
Curtain call.
Yeah, the curtain call equalizer, all of that just combining for heaps of damage, continuous damage combined with burst damage, just spelled death.
Not to
for
mention the
members of
death mark.
UCC.
That's an overkill for Splinter.
Even with a wild growth, that was just a
Not
sure
enough.
death.
Sure death, guaranteed. 30 seconds left into the Maton Drake. What will UCC do?
Yeah, because this is definitely hard. Because the wave clear they have is AoE. Of course, wave clear AoE. And that actually gets mitigated by the Baron buff. So while Adu, Penguin Authority, is sieging this, they're going to have a very much harder time clearing the waves here. So it seems like they're just taking over the map here, transitioning immediately to the bot lane. That Baron buff is going to make short work of these turrets if they...
Equalizer onto the floor, separating the members of UCC, scrolling all over the map. Here comes the re-engage by Simon, gets the kill. Here comes the orb with the thrill of the hunt. Michelangelo is trying to zone out the enemies, trying his best. He has no ultimate. Keeper's Verdict is on cooldown. Sadenza with the Devour, saving Dazai from any more turret hits. This is going to be a re-engage fight for UCC, but fails. But Adamson University has pure raw damage from Simon's Infinity Edge.
Wow, Adamson University, Penguin Authority with a vengeance. goes for all of these aggressive team fights, taking out UCC, and this is definitely the dish that is served cold there. And it actually transitions it to a free mountain drake. That is so much gold value for Adu. That's going to be 9k gold lead plus 3 drakes. That is huge. And UCC's composition, as you said, seems to be falling off even at 27 minutes. What they can do is it's so difficult because Michelangelo, even with the steadfast presence, is not able to protect Leonardo or Splinter. And Raphael, even with the has to build Black Cleaver, not full lethality has to build straight into these items. Can't deal the same amount of damage that Orf, Jissy, or Simone can bring out. And even with the bodyguarding here coming from Michelangelo, it's just so hard. In that fight earlier, they were divided. And being divided against this composition that has Cloud Drake, that has 2 mobile assassins, it just means your death if you stay away from your team for even a second.
Dies on the scene with the teleport, sieging Destiny turret.
Opens it up.
Equalizer on the floor. Let's see what happens. Raphael blocking. Michelangelo blocking the 4th bullet. Chain of Corruption onto 3 members. Make that 4. Stunned by the Chain of Corruption. Dazai, however, still burning the enemies of UCC with that Flame Spitter. Won't be doing much. This will be a disengage for Adamson University.
Quite successful defense there coming from UCC, because if you're able to stop the initial burst coming from Adu, you might be able to kite back with your Shock Blast and Acceleration Gate, with your Chain of Corruption, with your Piercing Arrow. You might be able to whittle them down and force them to disengage. That is a good defense that come from UCC, but of course with the lethality items giving CDR as well, it might be very quick.
Sedenza really out position, but look at that. Raphael will be taken down with the Death Mark. JC gets an easy kill pick up. Michelangelo still have HP, but the focus is on to Splinter. Simon with the crit and the damage focuses onto Leonardo. He has to back away with 4 members of UCC down. This gives Adamson University complete control of the top lane turret.
Yeah, bloodthirsty Adu, even with Cadenza being caught out there, the damage coming from Adu just overpowers the incomplete team of UCC. We saw there in the successful defense in the mid lane that they were able to push away Adu because they were acting as a unit, acting as 5 members. But there, they were again divided like in the bot. They were all not in the same place, not all on the same page, and that just allows them to open up, ironically, with a curtain call. They open it up with a curtain call. Look at here. Cadenza gets caught in, and then Raphael gets bursted down. You can see that Leonardo is nowhere to be found here. Has to go from the backline, but at that point, the rest of his team is just been already cleaned out. So, yeah, a very divided way of entering these fights, and that's, I believe, the greatest weakness of UCC in this game. Because if they,
I would also like to add what you said about that clash at this is what happened that UCC focused too much onto Sedenza.
Yeah,
it's a
Tom Kench
It was a
as
bait.
well. It was
they just
all
got baited out of that.
Yeah, it's very funny because they used fish as bait.
The fish is the bait.
Hook, and then UCC took it, hook, line, and sinker, opening up Jissy to just take out Raphael and the rest of their team to just burn them down.
UCC really has to, think before they go all in on a Tam Kench. He has that thick skin, just, making all your efforts to burst down the Tam Kench useless. So UCC, clearly they have been baited out of that, turning the fight around. Even if Sedenza was caught off guard, that fight was a clean fight actually for Adamson University. 0 members.
0 members. It seems like they won't be opting to take the Baron, which will be up in 30 seconds here. They're just going straight, pressuring every single point of the map here in the mid lane, bot lane, and top lane. And it's actually, let's watch for the search and win link here. Just follow that bit.ly link there, answer the questions, answer the form completely, and answer the trivia question. If you get it right and first, you will get that mystery gift within a few working days. Just be patient, but also be quick. And let's get back to the game here.
Patch 7.4 is really affecting the champions, where they excel in, Long team fights like the battle trance of the Poppy is no more. Black Cleaver's itemization is different now. Let's see what happens. Chain of Corruption is not going to do much for Leonardo. Flash, although been burnt by Simon, that might give UCC an advantage. Maybe not. Here comes Danzai with the Flame Splitter on the fray. Oh, that's going to be all in for Jissy with the Death Mark. Fails to assassinate Raphael, but the Curtain Call might salvage the fight. Third bullet. Oh, that's going to be a block, but still Simon secures the kill. He's legendary with 8-0. Daizai really low on the health. Burns his flash over the wall. Here comes Simon, gonna duel it up with the long range ownage with Michelangelo trying to zone out the members. That's not gonna do much. Splinter gets a double kill, but with Simon, the main damage dealer for Adamson University, still alive in the fight.
And
This will be a cleanup, maybe a cleanup.
Yeah. And
Splinter might go all in, guys. What's gonna happen? A crit bullet, crit bullet. No, that does not happen. Splinter gets the shutdown goal. Too much for Simon to handle.
And yeah, that was a very good fight from UCC. They learned that they should stick together in that fight. And under that tower, united, they were able to take out 4 members of ADO with only a cost of 2 for them. And look at a replay here. That's 5 members rather in the same page. So that GC is not able to immediately successfully assassinate him. The Curtain Call actually tries to salvage the fight here, but being under that turret and with all 5 members being in the same page, that allows them to get the momentum of the fight there. Taking out Orf can't go back in. Cadenza just has to run away. And of course, Simone very, very strong with lots of damage, but still gets taken out by Splinter there.
GC overcommitted to that fight. Under a turret is something you don't want to do, where the enemy has a Lulu equalizer on the floor trying to delay. The Drake will fail, giving UCC their first Ocean Drake.
But
look
the
at
trade
that.
there is going to
the
be
trade.
Adu onto the Baron. Very, very easy Baron. I don't think UCC will have any time here.
Wrap it up.
And even if they do try and engage here,
A Curtain Call might re-engage the fight. UCC might have to back away. Here comes Dazai with the emblem plus the Spire Flame Spitter, really torching the members. Raphael gets caught for the Death Mark. It's going to be a cleanup for Adamson University. That's going to be down for Donatello. Lulu won't be doing much, but Splinter trying to salvage the fight with his first won't be doing much. Kazanza with the engagement of Abyssal Voyage. That's going to be ace and game set for Adamson University's victory.
wow, that was so clean. And that was a huge mistake for UCC to go straight to the Baron Pit after taking that Ocean Drake. That allows for Adu to go for a very, very clean pincer play there.
The thing about what happened there, I think UCC thought that in a normal scenario where teams are not really, practiced a lot, normally when you get the Baron, they back away, right?
Yeah.
But Adamson did not do that. They knew their power in team fights because of the Jin, re-engaging the fight, cleaning it up, plus the position of, GC with the Death Mark was on point.
Yeah, it was definitely not worth it for UCC to go to Baron Pit right after taking Dragon. For the Dragon, it seems like UCC will need a little more training time with the Ninja Turtles there, because there were a lot of decisions that led to that defeat there. They weren't packed as a team against this very mobile assassination composition. As a poke comp, that's very vulnerable to that. You should be able to just keep sticking together as a team. Trust in Michelangelo, the party dude, to just bodyguard for Leonardo, bodyguard for Splinter.
And not just not to mention the itemization of the virus was really bad.
Yeah.
Leonardo, a tier of the goddess, is not something that's wise of itemization. Clearly,
He was way ahead of himself there.
way ahead of himself, but way behind
Yeah.
in gold. Ahead of himself, but behind in gold is something you don't want in itemization. Tier of the goddess is really something you don't want to pick up, knowing that that's a Jin with an Infinity Edge plus the rapid fire.
Yeah, the
cannon.
720 gold spent on that Tier of the Goddess really set him behind in terms of damage. And he was not able to match it. We didn't see any of that. Ooh, that piercing arrow dealt like 50% of his health. We didn't see any of that.
Look at the
Combined with the
damage
changes to the items. Yeah, so looking at the damage here, it was Splinter that look at the damage coming from Dazai here on that Rumble. 33,000 damage coming from that equalizer, that's Flame Spitter. Just very, very impactful and lots of control, way beyond in the head the rest of his teammates.
That's like 33,000 damage. That's
Yeah.
is a lot.
That's a lot, and that's the power in the way that the changes to these AD items and these usually auto attack masteries are changing the way that top laners play, that delineates between damage dealing top laners and tank top laners, bruiser top laners. It's very, very interesting to see that these teams will be adapting, and I want to see that for the rest of the day here from 2 p.m. to around 8. That was game 1. It was already pretty intense.
I'm pretty intense because, you know, with this patch 7.4 live, guys, it's going to be difficult for teams to actually practice on it. It was a very recent patch. Not enough time to practice, not even a week of practice for them to really adapt. So maybe they still thought they can stick to the same itemization, same strategy. No,
Definitely
not anymore.
not
Right
anymore.
now, the patch 7.4 draws a line between tanks and offensive bruisers and assassinators.
And also the itemization as well for AD carry has shifted dramatically. But that's just game 1 of week 3 of the LoL Collegiate League 2017 spring term, powered by Lenovo. That first game was, of course, Adamson University, Penguin Authority versus University of Caloocan City, Ninja Turtles. And our next game will, of course, be Adamson University. Game 2, Adamson University still versus Technological University of the Philippines. Sick Parvis Magna. That's Latin for great things come from small things, I believe. Yeah.
So with that said, guys, don't go away. We'll have a short break. Once again, we were your shoutcasters for Game 1 of the Lenovo LCL 2017 Spring Term. Challenge what you know. I'm Vulcan, and joining me was Atlas. We'll be back with a short break. Away that Tom Kench might be a wrong choice, chain of corruption. Fails to land. Here comes the damage from Michelangelo in the middle of the fray, but he's dangerous low. Splitter goes all in for the burst. Fails. Takes a turret hit. Here comes the hunt. This might be a cleanup, guys. Orb secures the kill. Michelangelo flashed away. Will it be a second kill? Flash both by Simon will be securing his third kill. Sadenza with an abyssal forward positioning. Leonardo is a bit dangerously low. It might be a speed up fight. Mark still pursues the equalizer and a corner call to clean up the fight. UCC is in a big hip of trouble. Michelangelo equalizer onto the floor, severing the members of UCC, scrolling all over the map. Here comes the re-engage by Simon, gets the kill. Here comes the orb with the thrill of the hunt. Michelangelo is trying to zone up the enemies. He's trying his best. He has no ultimate. Steven's Blade is on cooldown. Sadenza with the Devour, saving Dazai from any L will be taken down with the death mark. JC gets an easy kill, pick up. Michelangelo still half HP, but the focus is on the Splinter. Simon with the crit and the damage. Focuses onto Leonardo. He has to back away with 4 members of UCC down. This gives Adamson University complete control. Here comes Dante with the Flame Splitter on the fray. Oh, that's going to be all in for Jesse with that mark. Fails to assassinate Raphael, but the curling call might salvage the fight. Third full hit. Oh, that's going to be a block, but still Simon secures the kill. He's legendary with 8-0. Dai really low on the health. Burns his flash over the wall. Here comes Simon, gonna do it up with the long range ownage with Michelangelo trying to zone out the members. That's not gonna do much. Spencer gets a double kill, but with Simon with the emblem plus the spam, Flame Splitter really torching the members. Raphael gets caught by the death mark. It's going to be a cleanup for Adamson University. That's going to be down for Donatello. Lulu won't be doing much, but Spencer trying to salvage the fight with his first won't be doing much. Gazenza with the victory.
Wow, that was so clean. That was a huge mistake for UCC to go straight to the Barricade after that Ocean break. Just allows for Abby to go for very, very clean mixer play there.
Think about what happened there. I think UCC thought that in a normal scenario where teams are not really practicing a lot, normally we think about the back end.
You keep me coming back for more. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. Love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven. Oh, once in your life you will find someone who will turn your world around, pick you up when you're feeling down. Yeah, nothing can change what you mean to me. There's a lot that I could say, so just hold me now, and our love will light the way. Baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe we're in heaven. Love is all that I need, and I found it there in your heart. It isn't too hard to see we're in heaven, yeah. I've been waiting for so long, for something to arrive, for love to come along. And now our dreams are coming true, through the good times and the bad. Yeah, I'll be standing there by you. Whoa, oh, 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 oh. Yeah, baby, you're all that I want. When you're lying here in my arms, I'm finding it hard to believe I'll be your number one with the bullet. A loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. We're going down, down, around. And sugar, we're going down, swinging. I'll be your number one with the bullet. A loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. We're going down, 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 down. We're going down, down. Loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. We're going down, down, around. Sugar, we're going down, swinging. I'll be your number one with the bullet. Loaded gun complex, cock it and pull it. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he is a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. When I wake up, I'm willing to take my chances on whom I forget that you hate him more than you notice. I wrote this for you. You need him, I could be him, I could be an accident, but I'm still trying. And there's more than I can say for him. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Someday I'll appreciate and value. Get on my ass and call you. The meantime I'll sport my brand new fashion of waking up with pants on at 4 in the afternoon. You need him, I could be him, I could be an accident, but I'm still trying. And that's more than I can say for him. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. And maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. Where is your boy tonight? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town.
Ladies and gentlemen, isang lumalagablab na linggo para sa inyo as we welcome you back dito sa ikalawang laro ng third week of the Lenovo LCL 2017 Spring Term. Kami po yung magiging shotcaster. Ako po si Shinbu with a 1, 4, and I. And of course, with me is Atlas. Ladies and gentlemen, you just came in from Game 1, a fight between Adamson University versus University of Caloocan City. And that game, no? What happened in that game?
I think that game was a very good showcase of what 7.4.
No? Oh, 7.4.
Yeah, 7.4.
Okay.
How it changed the way people should build assassins and AD carries, bruisers, and tanks.
Okay.
And I think that was also a showcase of how Adamson was able to adapt more than UCC there. Because looking at the game at first, everyone was kind of apprehensive. Very, very slow game. Not a lot of kills. But when people started skirmishing and team fighting, it seemed like Adamson was able to adapt more. They were able to change the way they behaved more. On the other hand, UCC, while still having a very good showing, they weren't able to adapt to how the items are supposed to be built now.
Yes. Specifying yung sinabi mga manifestation ng 7.4 dito, of course, Mawakay getting removed here now.
Yeah,
it's like 7.4 saying goodbye na.
Especially
to Mawakay.
And a lot of other pure tanks.
Syempre, makikita na natin dyan is that Rumble's gonna be taking up the throne in the top lane. And of course, ayun nga, kanina, damage dealt to champions on
33,000.
Dazai. Crazy, ladies and gentlemen. Now, hindi lang po yun, syempre, ang nanalo. Hindi lang ADU. Syempre, isang summoner po ang nanalo kanina para sa ating Search and Win trivia question. And that summoner is gonna be Eldrid Caberto. Isang college student. The question that he answered would be, sino yung nag-fail flash kanina na champion? And that is sinong player pala? And that is ADU Dazai on that Rumble.
Ironically, siya din yata. I believe he was the MVP for that match there.
MVP with a fail flash.
Yeah, the objective control with the equalizer, with the sustained damage coming from the shock lances as well as a flame spitter. That was super impactful to how Adu got their win.
Yeah, ngayon pa lamang din kasi napipick up talaga si Rumble. It's good bisa na yung familiarity ng mga players natin on the Rumble in the top lane, especially over the past weeks na laging Maokai nakikita natin sa top lane. Dalawa lang naman yan so far, which is Maokai and Rumble, but this time, Rumble na yan.
Yeah, Rumble is going to be king.
At kung sino pa man ang steadily makakaakyat mula dito sa patch 7.4 natin. Course. Now, for our schedule sa ating ikalawang laro, muli, Adamson University, Penguin Authority. This time, makakalaban nila.
Ito ang Technological University of the Philippines.
Yes.
Sic Parvis Magna.
Sic Parvis Magna, what is that, man?
Yeah, it's Latin, which I think is the, like, pag ayaw na ng English or Tagalog, yung language na pupunta nila ay Latin. And this is Latin for great things come from small things. It's like, you know, everyone, even if you start small, there's lots of potential in them. I think that's what they're trying to tell us.
And if I'm not mistaken, ikalawang team na yata to. I'm not so sure kung Latin yung, I apologize dun sa University of UP. UP Los Baños, Honor at Excellence, equates to Honor at Excellence. Also,
now it's, I think,
Latin,
Excelsior.
No? Latin meta on the handles, the team names natin.
Yeah, before, last term, Salvaxinari, all those other Latin names. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I'm really happy kasi Latin, hindi natin madalas na-encounter yan. I'm just curious, walang team na nag-adapt ng Japanese name. Like, kunyari, let's say...
Baka sabing weeaboo na sila eh.
Siguro, kunyari, let's say, Manila University Arigatanks, mga ganon. Or Sumimachine, ganon.
Sumimachine.
Alam mo yun, mas mamahalin ng community natin siguro. Yung mga ganong pangalan. And of course, huwag na natin patagalin to. Let's get into the drafting phase. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, Adamson University, Penguin Authority, what a nice name, of course. Penguin Cutas Authority, heavy. And TUP, Technological University of the Philippines, Manila, of course, Sic Parvis Magna. Great things comes from small things.
Yeah, and looking at it so far in our 6-ban system for the LCL, Adu does not want to face that Jace. It was very, very strong, able to, even with the lethality item changes, still very, very oppressive in the mid lane or top lane there. Ivern, of course, very, very annoying as a champion. And you don't want to give Karma to someone who knows how to use Karma.
Yeah, lots of utility to be removed.
Lots of utility. And of course, TUP, knowing the power of that Rumble, take it away as well. Also taking away Jiz's assassins, the LeBlanc and the Zed will be out of the fight here for this match.
Yeah.
But it still seems like that Adamson wants that Tom Kench for the safety for their carries.
Ganda nung setups kanina ng Tom Kench.
With the Abyssal Voyage,
Yeah,
just setting up all the
delivering
camps
a Rengar.
for Orf.
Oo.
Very, very spicy delivery there.
Then opened up with Jin's curtain call. Textbook, no? Textbook approach
And
talaga.
it seems like both of these teams are already giving away the information they
Oo
have
nga.
on their bot lane.
Early pickups.
Yeah, actually, very good response here from both teams.
Yeah.
They find that they have a Tom Kench in the support,
Yes.
definitely, so they respond with their Caitlyn and their Janna here for
Yes.
a very defensive laning phase.
We do know
with the poke.
Tom Kench struggles from long-range champions.
From long-range poke.
Na, like, very, very long-range champions
yeah.
talaga na hindi. Do take note that Caitlyn's range outranges Tom Kench Tank Clash.
And in the response here, Adamson actually picks up the
Burst
Varus.
naman. Ay, Varus,
the Varus here, so they don't give too much information on their draft
Yeah.
to TUP, and they add that another powerful mid laner,
Yeah,
the Syndra.
Not gonna go for the Jin. You know, at least you still deal that consistent damage with your Q without having to stay static compared to the Jin's
Piercing arrow.
No. The Jin ultimate, of
the
course.
Jin, the
Curtain
curtain
call,
call,
of
sorry.
course. So, ang options dito, ang ginawa ngayon dito ng Adamson University, knowing there are squishes here at a range, you can burst champions using the Syndra naman.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the other hand, though, Sick Parvis Magna, this seems like they will want to go for a more utility-focused mid laner with Bomb 10B, picking up that Orianna. And the jungler here will be the Hecarim. Still very, very powerful, very scary bruiser here with initiation coming from the Onslaught of Shadows.
It's been a while,
yeah.
no?
It's been a while.
Since I saw Hecarim.
But when we see Hecarim in these YouTube videos, you see those race car sound effects, and then boom, 80 carry is gone.
Yeah, non-tank build Hecarim. So one hit Hecarim builds. A Hecarim build na that utilizes utility, but my opinion still tells me na Hecarim should still be built a bit tanky, you know? Kasi it scales really well with his W, of course, yung sustain niya. Plus, the more tanky you are, the more window na pwede ka makapaglagay ng rampage mo.
Yep.
Yeah, with your Qs.
Yeah. And on the side of Adu, though, they will still be picking up the Maokai here. Even with despite the nerfs, despite the changes to masteries and all, I think they do want some of that in tankiness to protect their AD carry and their mid lane here, GC.
We'll see kung gaano ka-punishing yung dito, yung 7.4 dito with
interesting then
Maokai.
yung Lee Sin.
Listen, okay.
Lots of pressure in the early game. Might even be probably is better at matching the Hecarim when it comes to if he wants to counter jungle. The Hecarim will have a hard time dueling at the very early stage of the game. But later, Hecarim I think has the advantage.
Yeah,
but,
because Lee Sin falls off in the late game.
Lee Sin falls off in the late game, and in the later levels, Hecarim will do a lot more damage in an extended duel against Lee Sin.
And in terms of setup, napaka-crucial nung binibigay niya na ultimate in terms kasama na rin yung kanyang devastating charge, of course. I'm just looking forward ano yung setup na plano ngayon dito ng Penguin Authority. Compared kanina, you're gonna deliver Rengar in the back line, right? And open up with a curtain call. This time, mas maikli yung range. It's just the corrupted chains, of course, of this Varus. And I'm curious kung what would be the effect of delivering the Lee Sin, if it's the Lee Sin that you're gonna bring in the back line. As well on the matchup in the top lane, Maokai versus Trundle. We do know that Maokai's laning phase has been nerfed heavily right now, and we do know that for the top lane, in terms of laning, Trundle is a very strong champion. Diba? You just need that Tiamat, and you're very much set.
Yeah, just keep
for
shoving that Maokai into the lane.
You just shove the Maokai into the lane.
An interesting thing here for this matchup. Ooh, it seems like our teams might go for a very early fight here if no one wards this side push in the mid lane, but it seemed like they just want to back away for now. But yeah, interesting here, the changes to the top lane here, because Maokai has a higher mana cost on his Arcane Smash.
Yes.
It will be an easier time to shove him once he gets the Tiamat.
Yeah.
Once he gets the Hydra. It's going to be harder for Dazai here to push back.
Yeah, if this has been a Poppy, pwede pa sana. Kaya pa, no?
Yeah.
Pero I believe kung Trundle, yun lang kailangan. Tiamat lang. And all set na to. Ang laking spike na yun. Especially, yun nga, this Maokai. It would, like, what, magdo-double Doran's ring just so you could
You
mitigate
could-
that
yeah.
nerf, that 7.4? I'm not so sure talaga right
Delaying
now.
your tank items as well.
Yeah, based on champions GG, Maokai is the least improved champion right now.
Yep.
Lowering the rounds in the ranks by 41 ranks. Grabe
Wow,
binagsak
that's a
nun.
huge
Yeah.
change there. And
Ah,
we're going to see actually how all of this manifests into the game.
Yeah, observing PGS final week in the regular season this Friday. Na-conclude no bans on Maokai, man.
Yeah, it's
So,
just
ganun.
they're no longer afraid of that.
Oo, so-
And even with no bans on the Maokai, no one picking up the Nautilus as well. These tanks don't deal as much damage, and they shouldn't deal that much damage. It seems like it's normal. All of it has normalized here.
Yeah.
We're going to see the manifestations of that and the reactions of our players picking up this Maokai and a Trundle into that Maokai as well. We're going to see. I'm really interested though. What you notice with me is what position, what players should we watch for? And I always say
Okay.
the junglers.
Oh, yes, of course.
And yeah, because Orf had a lot of pressure. Realized that, okay, Rengar might not be as good early.
Yeah.
So let's power farm to 5 and to 6, and then gank after that. I'm interested to see what he does on this Lee Sin, and also interested in what Chan 10B uses this, how he uses his Hecarim to pressure, to initiate these team fights, and just be a very, very powerful bruiser. I'm gonna see how, because they control the pace of the match.
Yes, but again, as we mentioned kanina, despite us criticizing the Maokai, do take note that the team that is holding this Maokai is Adamson University. Cannot be denied that is on the upper level netong Metro West Conference natin. Do take note, a quick history lesson is that Adamson University was previously handled by the team, represented by the team Apple White. But all that thought, there's going to be an engagement in the top lane. Aseja not accounting here that Lise is going to be arriving. But clearly, that's the 7.4 manifesting itself. Maokai losing the trade-up, the 1v1 with the Trundle. That is not because of the mana nerf, but because of the sapling nerf.
Yep, no
Landing
damage on
has
the landing anymore.
No damage on the landing.
So the trading is a lot harder for Maokai here, and it actually manifests in Asadia just taking him out, even as he flashes away the DOT, the damage over time, and the minions just destroy him. And actually,
that is the corrupting potion.
Orf actually tries to go, gets the trade kill, but Chan just race carring straight into that lane.
So,
all that damage. So, yeah, very good for TUP. The first blood plus another kill on top of that.
That's the big problem. Look at how confident Asedia is right now. That first blood that he was able to secure. Okay, Call. So talagang, this is one meta kasi if you get ahead, minsan iniisip mo, di ba Call dapat early pinipick up yun kasi parang passive
so you
item
can
siya.
bank the charges?
Pero actually, if you get ahead, you can double the price ng pagkalabang mo if you pick up the Call.
Because you're in a better position to CS. Since you're ahead, you have that little bit of room to buy the Call, and it really pays off here.
Really pays off. Some players forget na ang iba iniisip that Call would just give a bonus gold at the end. There's also a bonus gold every minion na
for
napapatay
every
mo.
minion you kill in that 100 span of 100 minions.
So malaki talaga yung gold advantage na nakukuha kapag may Call ka. And especially if that Call is just a bonus item because of an early kill.
And look at this. Dazai is just is so fearful of being even going near his own minion wave here because he's gonna die to the pillar's gonna slow him down.
The wave clear is very hard there. Yung landing damage, nakita mo yung damage nung sapling.
Wala na eh.
Oo man.
Yung explosion na lang. Plus the Arcane Smash mana has been increased.
I understand here. As we mentioned earlier, double Doran's ring, diba? Just to offset that 7.4 nerf. Pero I think that won't be enough.
That won't be enough.
Especially in front of Trundle. Look at that, the CS lead here. 18
almost
against
twice.
33, almost twice. There might even be a no camp from the end of the red side team, but rather on the blue side team. And just like that, that guy is the Maokai.
Yeah, Trundle just bullying. Asadia here just bullying Dazai here.
I think it would be a different story kung Rumble ulit sana to, or a different champion. Just a different
the Rumble was bad. Ooh.
Okay, now in the mid lane, there's going to be an embrace here on GZ. GZ managed to stand away the mid laner of TUP, so we still stick at 1-3.
Yeah, very good scatter the weak there. Stunning both Bam there, and also pushing away Chan, keeps him safe there, but has to burn his summoner spells for that. So it's very, very dangerous. It seems like Chan is not done yet with his ganking
actually
spree.
rode the blasting cone, would be in the position to go for the blank. There is a Devour, delivers Simon into a safe spot, piercing arrow to Miss Ian, 10B.
Still. It's just a devastating charge in trade for a flash.
Yep.
So that is actually huge, and if he opts for it, Chan can just keep going straight into this bot lane, coming from circling around behind the Dragon Pit.
Yeah.
He can just keep doing that.
And actually, Chan has all the freedom to visit the bot lane and the mid lane just because top lane is already
Yeah,
in
because
check.
top lane is already a very, very difficult matchup for Dazai.
44 against 26.
Yeah, 44 against 26. The
Yes,
XP
yes.
is there, and Acedia, as soon as he comes back here, will have the subjugate ready for Dazai
Got
if
the
he even
Tiamat as
tries to fight. So it's gonna
Picking up the early Tiamat.
Yeah,
Early
Tiamat
proc on
as
the
well.
Call. Oh my god.
Damn. So he's just going to go
Yeah.
straight for all of these minions here.
We're seeing the mid game here, man.
Yeah.
We're seeing
Mid-game
the
at
monster
7.
in the mid game. This Trundle.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a big problem, really. It would heavily fall the responsibility ay babagsak ng malaki papunta kay Simon.
Mhm.
Dito to deal damage and even Orp really to play around this Trundle in should ever the instance happen na magkaroon tayo ng teleport plays dito sa either mid lane or bottom lane.
Yeah, Simone actually might be making the same mistake as UCC from last game and
Okay.
building the tier of the goddess first. Of course, it's very useful for the mana sustain.
Yes.
Yeah, but if you and of course Caitlyn and Janna very
Yeah.
defensive. You might have room for the tier of the goddess, but once those teleport plays come, once Chan starts ganking the bot lane,
Yep.
it's gonna be very hard to fight back
Yeah.
when
may
you only
want
have
to
tier of the goddess.
You're aiming for the long game when you're building Tier of
Yeah.
the Goddess. Pero you might want to gamble for the early game ngayon. Especially with the threat of this Rumble.
Yeah, just
You need-
teleporting down there.
Yeah, you need as much damage as possible. Ganito sa phase na to na, well, actually kita na yung lamang. Pero at least hindi ganun ka kita pa pagdating sa bottom lane o kapag nagsama-sama itong dalawang team na to.
Oh man, it's so hard for Dazai to last hit all of the minions because yun nga, wala nang
Landing damage.
damage sa sapling. That small amount of damage he could have gotten
Yeah. And
on those range minions.
the thing about there is why we're discussing the mid lane as well. The top
Oh.
lane as well, look at that. Under third kill by Aseja on Dasai. And again, kasi yung ibang lanes talaga, safe lanes yan.
Yeah.
Yeah, Syndra versus Oriana, it was gonna be a farm
straightforward.
lane, except if there's gonna be a visit from the jungler.
Wow.
Set up all in the hands of Technological University. Sick Harvey's Magna.
That was so clean here.
Sonic
but
Wave,
Orc
Resonating
might
Strike,
actually-
all in combo, no defensive itemizations from Asedia. Orf is gonna punish him 2-5. Second kill in the hands of Penguin's Authority.
Yeah, that's going to be. That was very clean in the mid lane there. Just going the mix of the crowd control.
Yeah, plus the E.
the onslaught of shadows into the devastating charge, and
Yep.
right at the end of the knockback of the devastating charge, the shockwave is there to finish out and the kill there, and that was very clean.
Yeah.
So that was very good, clean communication there. It seems like Chan is not stopping in his rampage.
And the big problem here is that by design, the composition here of Phantom, Penguin Authority
Yeah.
is aggressive.
Mm.
And right now, with this kind of deficit, medyo risky yun. And they don't want to pull off that kind of risk. And even their main damage dealer, half of it, Varus, pick up a conservative itemization. Tier of the Goddess.
Yeah, so it's
So,
very, very difficult.
Even mo if these two teams group up, I could bet na mas makakalamang pa rin dito ang Sick Power Beast Magna.
Yeah, definitely with their very, very powerful mid top lane and jungler.
Right now, also the
any skirmish
itemizations,
will
look at
be-
that. There's a very big difference in terms of damage pagdating dito sa dalawang ADC
Serrated
ngayon.
Dirk versus the BF sword.
Yeah.
That's actually huge, even considering the lethality. It's just way, way too strong if
Yeah.
they ever get into an upfront fight.
Because you could add the Janna Shield on top
Yeah,
of that
of
damage.
course.
That's the problem
The
about this
Eye of the
Caitlyn.
Storm is
Yeah.
just going to ruin players with ruin these champions with their auto attacks.
And I think when the fight breaks out in this mid-game, there's not enough tankiness in the hands of this Maokai. This time, round 2 for this
Oh.
ADU mid laner. GC will be saying GG for now here in the 10-minute mark of the game.
No need for the shockwave even there. Just the straight up Thunderlords plus the damage from the Rampage and the Onslaught of
Yeah.
Shadows is enough. And Dazai, even near his turret, is having such a hard time here. And Orf is not been able to help him out after that initial gank.
It really falls on Orf right now to anticipate at least the gank here, counter gank against this Hecarim. Because ADU would really want to step up their game for this one na i-predict nila kung saan papasok yung TUP. Because right now, TUP is in the position to be aggressive like this one in top lane. Here we go. Ascend is going to be tanking 2 turret hits, maybe more. And Dazai will feel the wrath of this Hecarim under turret though. And that's how it is done. Dazai steps up with a passive. It's 2 kills instantly in the hands of Penguins Authority. Bam would be late for the party.
Yeah, and I thought that, okay, Orph
he
has...
gets spotted by the vision. There's movement speed available for GC. Not gonna reach it though, so yep.
That's going to be, I thought Orph, I was thinking, Orph has the right idea, but he might be too late.
Yeah.
But of course, nothing was changed about Maokai's sustain in a fight.
Yep.
He just has less, it's just less sustainable because of the mana costs, but the sustain is still there, and that actually keeps him alive in
And
the
to give
tower
an idea,
diving.
guys, Maokai's tankiness is not nerf.
Yeah.
It's only the laning.
It's just
only
the laning.
It's only his clearing, which is very important really for
But
Maokai.
the sustain is still there
Yeah.
when he actually is able to fight back
Yeah.
with his spells.
And with that kind of dive, the itemizations here of Chan, it's not defensive
Yeah.
when that dive was done. Okay? Hindi pa
Going
buo yung Bami Cinder nung ginawa niya yun. There's actually an early pickup of the Shin.
Yeah, going straight
Yeah.
for magic damage here, and we saw that manifest in the gank against Jizzy.
Yep.
But against against Dazai there, with the health, with the armor, being able to block off a lot of the damage from the rampage, from the devastating charge, and heals him up with his passive. That just spells disaster,
Yep.
giving away 2 kills actually,
Now-
and a little bit of a catch-up.
Okay, this is gonna be enough. So delaying any first core item, rather it would be a component of the gauntlet, if I'm not mistaken, and the Bami Cinder. So there's an wave clear now.
Yeah.
Here for Maokai because of the demolition.
He's compensating for the
landing damage,
for the landing damage and the increased
using the
mana cost of
demolition,
the Arcane Smash. So the Bomb Cinder and then building it into the Iceborne Gauntlet is the Frozen Fist is actually very, very good. Chan might be in a little bit of trouble.
Yup, Sonic Wave connecting. Will there be any resonation?
Too fast,
Coming
too
in from
furious.
Yes, of course, and you don't want any shockwave. You know, face checking a shockwave on top of a Hecarim. That's, you know, by design, could be the second tank here for TUP. Now, going back to the top lane. Now, we are back on the original Maokai na. In this phase of the game, 13-minute mark.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
just going straight for it, surviving the laning, very, very behind, almost
man.
40.
That's the thing.
But the longer the game goes, I think he'll be able to normalize.
Yeah, get back. Oh, normalize.
But still, that's the lead coming for
Rondo.
Asedia here was so
Rondo
big.
is not it's not just more than an early game champion. He actually has a very big presence in terms of the late game. Lots of fallback signal here in this bot lane, and Varus doing good work. Simon here connecting the piercing arrows to the bottom duo here of TUP. Got Dance's step onto a trap. Okay, there's gonna be the minions. I'm not sure if the tankless was used to clear the minions for the sustain of Varus, but clearly the bottom duo of the Penguin Authority has been punished there.
Yeah, Mise N almost died there, but with I think that was the itemization coming from Simone.
Yep.
Simone that didn't get the kill there, going for the Tear of the Goddess.
Yeah.
And then
Had
going
it been
for
a lethality item quickly.
yeah, had it been the
Very
Yomus
almost
na
goes-
siya,
Yeah.
I think they would have been able to get the kill. Orph here gets the Cloud Drake and not a very spotlight dragon
Yep.
here, because neither of these teams really want a Cloud Drake. They want the Mountain, they want the Infernal. The Cloud Drake movement speed is useful, but it wasn't the focus for
Yes.
these two teams.
No, what I think of it.
Hmm?
I think understandable na rin yung Tear of the Goddess dito kay Varus. We know that a Tear of the Goddess is a core item for Varus, but
Yes.
kung kailan mo rin siya ipipick up, because right now the running meta would be to rush the
The
Yunmus
Yunmus.
talaga.
Mm.
But, you know, with the nerf on Yunmus,
Yeah,
maybe,
I
right?
did say that rushing Yomus is no longer always the correct
option. Kanina, Jace actually
Yeah.
rushed the Edge of the Night. Now in the top lane, there's gonna be full combo all in onto Dazai. Subjugate plus the Ice Pillar. Clearly, this Maokai has no escape. But will the turn save him? DUP won't hesitate in flashing in. Asedia allows the kill to be given onto Chan here. Left out, Asedia the Trundle gets popped and clapped on by Orp. Also by GC.
So that's a 1-for-1 trade of both of these top laners. But yeah, Orph able to get there in time for the cleanup.
Yep.
But I don't think he's had always had the time to counter gank on point.
Yeah.
Like he's not there at the split second that Chan is there.
Yeah, it's
we
always
saw-
just a 1-1.
Yeah, and we saw
At
earlier
best.
that he was able to help Dazai get those 2 kills in the top lane, but that was relying a lot on Dazai's own tankiness and not the timing of Orph. So very big shift here and Orf's pressure, but
The
okay.
interesting part here is that Azedia actually prolonged the laning phase here.
Mhm.
He's in the position to actually push push pass.
Yeah, push fast,
But
use
right
his
now,
teleport.
16 minutes into the game, and we're not seeing any turret
Yeah,
damage here.
even with TUP's huge advantage there coming from the top lane, I think they miss a lot of opportunities in the early game to teleport down, get those
Yep.
team fights in the bot side of the jungle.
I agree.
But I think it's only a
Okay, Chan with a face check here, but right now the Lee Sin kick has been nerfed. That is around a few patches ago, so you can see how Orb is punished here by the Hecarim. But here comes the rest of the members of Adamson University. Multi-target Shockwave removes this Hecarim, though the Tamkage does that, and the rest of the members, Adamson University, Penguin Authority, limping in near and clearing up two members here of Sigparvis Magna. Now let's see, it's gonna be a 3v4, ladies and gentlemen. And Azedia won't be tanky enough for the rampage here of 4 members of Adamson University. A lot of fallback signal once again. And Adamson University, the authority, ladies and gentlemen, calling it quits. 8-8 in our scoreboard.
Yeah, 8-8 actually, and I think that was an overstay, an overcommit from TUP there in that fight, trying to go for all of those low health, sobrang lapit na namamatay na members from Adu.
Yeah.
But they end up just being turned, the tables get turned, and they get 3
I think what happened was
kills.
almost a 4v2
Yeah.
in theory doon sa mid lane na yun.
But yeah, that was a little bit of an overconfidence there, and I think TUP. Let's look at the replay here, and yes, whoa.
It was a 4v2. It was a 4v2.
Looking at the rush here, the 4v2, they get a lot of damage on them using the orb here. Cedia tries to go in, but they have the front line there. Dazai is there, Cadenza is there, not able to push through. And yeah, they keep going.
Oh no, I said yeah.
Yeah, Cedia keeps going, but now the burst coming from these champions, taking the toll on them. I don't think they have any more time, any more damage there to follow up on those low health
And
members.
that's around 7 Dark Spears available for that ultimate of GC.
That is a lot.
Clearly not respecting Asedia there. Asedia has no visage there during that time as well. Not even the cowl completed. So talagang aaray siya sa ultimate na yun.
And yeah, and I think if that fight happened earlier, while Dazai did not have any opportunity to tank. Actually, first turret going to TUP, lots of gold, but overall not as game-changing as before. It's still very good. It's still first blood.
Just because of that mid lane clash, first blood start, it's gonna be nice, really. That 300 on top of the lead na meron na itong ating
That's a Triforce ready there.
Of course. Now, in the mid lane, gonna be the Shockwave, not fully channeled here. GC is gonna be embraced here by Chan. One final kick won't be enough to stop this Hecarim. Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike, the lick of the Stamkits, and the ultimate of Simone removes the jungler here of Sig. Parvis Magna, only Asej is the one standing in the wake of 4 members of Adamson University. The Penguins, ladies and gentlemen, showing authority and removing, ignoring the lead here of Asedia.
And yeah, it seems like the TUP is making the same mistakes as UCC from last game, is that when they're fighting the composition drafted here by Adamson University, Penguin Authority, they're not sticking as a team.
Yeah, not as a team. That is the word.
Yeah.
Paisa-isa, man.
Because last time it was Adu, even if they didn't have, before they had their lead, it was pretty even.
Yeah.
But because TUP, when the fight starts, they're not together as a unit. That's when the fight goes in the favor of Adamson University, and they take the momentum there and keep going forward. And the gold lead here is still in TUP's side.
Yeah, you can see how fast the response are coming in this bottom lane of Adamson.
But if the behavior continues that they don't fight as one, that they fight these 5v4s, 5v3s, and then magsusubukan mag-clean up ng dalawang natira, it's not going to be pretty for them, even with the lead that Acedia and Chan had built up.
Especially kung merong Lee Sin na available, you're just going to be disrupted.
Because now Orf has 4-2-3 compared to 3-3-3.
Yeah.
That's actually a big change coming from earlier, where Orf didn't seem like he was having a lot of pressure, didn't seem to have on-time counter ganks.
Yep.
But it seems now when the skirmishes are starting, TUP is kind of fumbling a bit.
And do take note that Adamson University are fully utilizing their win conditions right now. That Cloud Drake na una nilang nakuha really opened up and allowed them to respond on these fights on this river side.
Yeah.
For the most part, laging dito nagaganap. Ladies and gents, and muli, Adamson University, the main aggressor here. Where is the Monsoon? Will that be enough? Nav 1 will be walking to the dry brush, but the front line of Adamson University is just too much. Phantom, Penguin Authority, na merong Tamkech palaka. Mukhang hindi talaga ito mapapahinto ng TUP, and that's gonna be a Cloud Drake.
Another Cloud Drake plus 2 kills. And yeah, that is a divided TUP there. Focusing, I don't think they should focus too much on the Cloud Drake. Even if it's super useful with a movement speed, I don't think it's a high priority for them to try and take. I think they should have gone for either a push in the mid or top lane. But trying to face check that, you lose your bot lane there. And this opens up more. And di ba Hito si Tamkech?
Oh,
Hito. Yeah.
Tama, Hito.
Yeah.
Hito, iba pala yung palaka.
Si Fizz pa yung palaka.
Hindi ko alam yung fish na yun, kung palaka talaga yun.
There's a fish person. I have no idea. But in any case,
parang ano lang yun, batang malaki ang ngiti.
batang may tentacle sa ulo. But in any case, yeah, that's the way that Adu has been winning the games today.
Yeah, as an icebreaker lang, I'm still banking on that my requested merchandise. Yung sleeping bag na Tamkech. Yeah, it's really one really nice concept na sinasuggest ko na, you know, $1 million idea.
Yeah, sleeping bag Tamkech.
Yung bunga nga niya, isushoot ka dun sa loob. Tapos isasara mo pag matutulog ka na.
Tapos paggising mo, nasa ibang lugar ka na.
Visal mo.
It's like, ba't ako nandito sa Quezon City?
Feel ko cute yun. Feel ko cute yun. Ayan. Or kung hindi, sleeping bag na Kog'Maw, diba?
Pwede rin.
Oh,
Kasi Kog'Maw eats actually, a lot of the Void champions are very food related, like Kha'Zix. Kog'Maw likes eating, Cho'Gath likes feasting, Kha'Zix likes consuming his prey. But let's get back on track here in the game.
So, status of this game right now, again, because of the prolonged laning phase, we are just about to enter the mid-game, 23-minute mark, okay? And this is the part where turrets are going one by one and where skirmishes and team fights matter. But the thing here is that it's only the other half. Adamson University, Penguin Authority, seems they're the only one who has the mindset of doing team fights.
Yeah, and they've been doing team fights as a unit here, as a cohesive unit. They don't take fights where they're outnumbered, and that's how they're getting all these skirmishes. Even with a gold lead not in their favor, it seems like the way they play in the mid game will give them the advantage coming into the later minutes of the game. But we'll see how TUP, if they get their unit together, because it doesn't matter if you have 5 fingers if they don't coordinate as a hand.
Well,
and we're gonna see here.
As an
almost.
update though, ladies and gentlemen, let's go! This might be the engage that Adamson University may want! Sonic Wave resonating strike, flash in, final kick, flash out! And that's gonna foil the plans of Orb! Shockwave still completed, and Orb will go down! And of course, the rest of the members of ADU cannot really follow up from that engage. Jungler in the hands of TUP.
Yeah, and actually that was almost a super great engage here, and this actually opens up the bot lane.
Okay, the ultimate of Valu's not connecting, but of course, you can see here that the Maka is to be delivered here in this bottom lane, and that's how Cadenza does it. The Abyssal Voyage plays, ladies and gentlemen, while we are lap up here in the mid lane outer turret. As you can see that GC gets embraced by the 3 members of TUP, kills on different parts of the map. Still, it doesn't stop. The chase is on Cadenza, and as said, is willing to take up that fight. Devour will foil his plans. He got 2 Lobster stacks. Here comes the Hecarim. Cancels his engage. Back in the front line. Twisted advance and a piercing arrow opens up for the kill with Cadenza securing that one. 3 for 1 so far.
That was actually 3 for 2.
3 for 2, oh my god.
And at the final, and that should have been 2 for 2 plus a turret for TUP, but they overcommitted. They weren't respecting the way that Cadenza can just save any of the champions here on the side of Adu. And that actually... I was thinking, okay, this is going to be a trade here. TUP will get the upper hand because of the tower, but they still try to go forward. They could have just walked back up here. Looking at the replay, they dive GC here. The Zhonya's keeps him alive for a little longer, but of course that won't be enough. They will stick onto him. And here, they had a choice. They could have just backed away here. One low member, and Cadenza here, Dazai there.
2 tanks in the front line, and the Varus in the back line.
Overconfident, but the heal was up.
Yeah.
And of course, the Devourer was up. So that actually, they dive too deep. Chan also tries to dive way too deep, but pays the price
But
for it.
Actually, the mistake there, Chan can actually catch the Varus.
Yeah, he
That's my
actually.
guess.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Pero
think, okay,
kinancel niya yung engage.
yeah,
Umatras.
he just went for Cadenza,
Yeah.
and I believe he had the ghost there, and he had the
Yeah.
devastating charge going. I think then Simone does not have any options of escape,
Yeah.
so I think he just to equalize the kill there, he
I'm
should
not
have
sure if
just
it's a
went for it.
misclick na ipabalik niya yung devastating charge. Because if it's a
Maybe.
decision, I think that's a waste.
Yeah, that's a huge waste there, and still the gold lead onto TUP, but the pressure, the way they play,
And
Adu is really.
again, this is it,
yeah.
Cadenza. All you need to do is deliver the Maokai. Cadenza is very willing to complete the bar,
Fearless.
giving in a Seja to instant advance. Full lockdown with Simone as the DPS. Do take note, there's also the burst from the ultimate of this Maokai. The subjugate won't be enough against 4 members of Adamson University. Or present idea. There's the Baron initiated on by TUP. Do take note, members of them are going so low. There's still the Janna. Will there be a Monsoon?
Oh.
Sonic Wave. Resonating
This is so
Strike.
slow.
Gets offset. May go for jungler versus jungler. Delays the Baron. They're gonna be in the position to take this one. And yes, they will. As Simone will gonna be offsetting that one with a bottom lane inner turret.
Yeah, and they just focused way too much on the bot lane
Okay,
there.
so he's not,
Yeah,
he
trade.
cannot, because
Yeah,
of
he
the
cannot.
powered recall, of course.
Yeah, and that means they have to trade one kill, and then one of their lives for the Baron there.
Yep.
And I don't think that was worth it. I think that was a little bit of a tunnel vision coming from Adu to go for that objective
Yep.
plus the kill.
Yep.
And that actually opens up the
Yeah.
Infernal Drake, which
Yeah,
is huge
they have a-
for TUP here.
They have a very nice combat stat here
Yeah.
for this Infernal Drake, and they've even managed to secure that Reef Scuttler. Put in the first embrace on the Infernal
Mm-hmm.
Drake. It's very likely that the odds of this Infernal Drake going to the hands of TUP
Yeah,
is
very, very
100%. And there we go. First Infernal Drake against 2 Cloud Drake. TUP bags in that one.
Yeah, very good decision there from TUP to just go for the Baron there, and they might actually be getting their acts together.
Yep.
And they're starting to shot call properly. If
Yep.
this continues, if they can actually siege very
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
Eye of the Storm onto the Caitlyn here, onto Navi here, and he can just shred these towers.
Yeah.
And with the frontlining Acedia and Chan, I think they have a good chance here if they continue the kind of decision making that got them this Baron.
Yeah,
But-
right now, you could see that Navi is going to be prioritizing a QSS. After that QSS, a shred item would be required, and
Yes.
this is pretty much a textbook win na for TUP.
Yeah, if
Kasi
they keep
manlalabot
going.
yung Maokai na yan para kay Caitlyn. That's the thing. All you need is just to protect the Caitlyn. You have a Janna, one of the most effective enchanters in the game. And that's the thing. There's a lot of divers din kasi
Yeah.
para sa TUP. And I believe for this situation, a Hecarim plus Trundle going into the front line compared to a Maokai na Lee Sin, I lean more on the former.
Yeah, it seems like Acedia might be in a little bit of trouble though.
Like this one, let's see how fast will this Maokai go down. All in on the Shockwave Devour. And good guy Tamket's gonna be putting their top lane on the safety, but they have no more tank. Rather gonna rely on the support. Lots of fallback signal here, redemption for the sustain. And we have, it's a reset of the fight. Okay, battle still in the hands of TUP.
It seems like they are now starting to fight as a team now, and we can see the manifestation of that Adu's having a much harder time matching the fighting power from this composition if they're fighting as a whole. Because right now, even if Cadenza saves GC or saves Simone, that's still 3 seconds or less of no DPS coming from
That's
Adu
the thing,
here.
yeah.
So that allows Navi and Bomb to just go straight into with these damages.
There are
out
lots
the
of
cleanup.
freedom for Hecarim, Chan here to really dive Simon. As you mentioned that na kahit ma-devour yan, that's DPS removed. That's DPS removed.
So it's really, really hard now since now the TUP is starting to fight as a team. Probably because the Baron buff also gives him a morale boost. It's like, we have the wave, we can fight as a whole. But after that,
How could something so ugly make you feel so happy, no? Parang Andrew Ina.
come on, man. But yeah, if they continue fighting 5v5s, I think they will have the advantage
Yeah.
over Adu.
Yeah.
Because earlier, it was Adu, I thought Adu was getting such a huge advantage because of the way they've been playing team fights.
There we go. So we're gonna be seeing build path to the Dominic's regards here by Nav1 But still, one win condition here for Adamson University. Penguin Authority not yet out of the table. A burst on Caitlyn, a burst
Yes.
on the Oriana. It would be
Yeah.
nice. Do take note, wala pang Zonia's Arglas dito si Bam. So the option to land a full combo there by GC on this mid laner of TUP is still open.
Yeah,
So that's
and
one.
I think now that TOP is fighting as a 5-man, that Adu has to work a lot harder
Yeah.
to get the fights that they've been winning in these past few minutes.
I'd
these past
suggest
minutes.
a strategy of divide and conquer.
Yeah, divide and conquer. Earlier, they were doing 5v3s, 5v4s, and they were taking them easy. But now that TUP is able to fight 4v4s with one split pushing, I think divide and conquer, you're right, is the way they're supposed to react to
Yeah.
this kind of
But
adaptation.
not
from
this kind of
TUP.
divide and conquer na trundle yung split push because you really don't want to go for the trundle. Right now, you'd be required to send multiple members just to deal with the trundle. But
Yeah.
there's enough wave clear on this Maokai. That's why I'm just not sure if when the subjugate is on, will Aseju be able to tower dive this Maokai? That's the big question. He got a Guardian Angel pa. Oh my god.
Yeah, the big question here is when Asidia goes for Dazai, how will the rest of Adu react?
React, yeah.
Because that's important here.
For the 4v4 scenario, no?
Because definitely Dazai is going to straight up lose against Asidia at this point of the game in terms of a 1v1 there in the bot lane or top lane in the split push lanes. So it's going to be up to how they react to this. And it seems like they're sending two people here to continue pressuring the bot lane. But what else is Adu doing?
Okay, so this is gonna be a 3v2 scenario. Abyssal Voyage there by Cadenza. Only to ward off members here of TUP. Only no combo to Nav1. One final kill. Will that be enough? The slow from the Jana. Zonia's Arglas. No response from any of the teammates. Managed to burst the Caitlyn. That's worth it. 1-1.
He got baited by the redemption
Yeah.
there.
Okay,
let's see how
so
the
the
rest of
fight continues
goes.
on without any ADC in the hands of TUP. No mid laner here for Adamson University. Which one is heavier? Let's see. A kick from the Lee Sin. Simone has all the DPS, has all the fields that he needs. These two tanks won't be a problem for the Penguin Authority. They're gonna back away. That is the TUP team. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Okay.
and they spent a lot there on trying to kill Jissy in the top lane there. In the mid lane, they went for another fight, but they didn't have the kind of damage that they needed without
Oriana
Nav1.
without an Nav1 as well.
And,
Nav1.
and Bomb just got bursted down there, so
Yep.
it's very, very difficult after that. It seems like momentum again back in the hands of Adu until Nav1 gets
this
here.
is not good. Okay, putting the Devour. Again, all you need is to put Simon at a good distance. That's what you'd want if you are ADU.
It seems like Infernal Drake, both of these teams will be wanting this for the damage
Yeah,
boost.
there's a ping to go in on this Infernal Drake. Orb's gonna be prioritizing the control ward. I think TUP is gonna take this fight. There is the vision, ladies and gentlemen. 3 against 2. It's only the Caitlyn. Will they commit? No, they won't. They're gonna give it. One Infernal Drake in the hands of ADU.
And that's actually going to help ADU continue these skirmishes that they want to take. Not full-on 5v5 team fights because it's still so hard unless they take out Nav1 and Bomb immediately.
Yeah.
So that's going to be their game plan. And Orf here, if he can get a good insect kick, it will actually turn the tides entirely against TUP.
Oh
but
my
TUP
God.
still has a very good 5v5 composition here.
But they've secured provision on this
Yeah.
Baron side of the map. That's a big problem here. You could see how ADU, how they are capable to think ahead compared to TUP.
Yeah.
Kanina kasi ang malaking mistake talaga na nangyari is that the 2v1, in essence, was won by GC there. Exchange it for a 1-4-1, removes the Caitlyn, and that's where how ADU react. They know that without the Caitlyn, they're poised to win that fight. And now, things are really tricky. TUP learned their lesson that they need the Caitlyn
Yep.
for this
So
fight.
it's a very adaptable play from TUP here. But the vision coming from ADU on this Baron pit will actually help them out. But they can't force it yet.
Yeah.
They can't force it because an Onslaught of Shadows plus Shockwave coming from TUP will absolutely destroy them. So now it's going to be a little tango here in the topside jungle,
Yep.
trying to gain control over this Baron pit's heart. So
Or this
we're-
Baron, I
yeah.
think it's anybody's game,
Yeah.
really.
if either of these teams gets Baron, it's going to be really tricky for other team to protect their turrets, their objectives from their damage output, from their sieging, because both of these teams are, I think, are very capable of sieging or tower diving in the case of ADU here.
I think they're planning for the setup. They have an idea of where the Lee Sin
Lots of
will
pings
go.
coming around.
Lots of pings in the reverse side. Ladies and gents, will this be the pincer maneuver? Do take note that ADU has won their previous games. Won their previous game with an instant pincer.
But it seems like no, it's going to take a step back. From
But
the
this is
dance
so
here.
bad. What is Oriana doing here?
Ooh.
Okay. I had that Maokai decided to go for an engage.
It might have been very, very
Yeah.
dangerous, but of course, Maokai with the changes,
Yeah, knows that he cannot withstand the damage of Caitlyn preheating him.
just the
Yeah.
tank can't 1v1 the Caitlyn
This is
anymore, I think.
this is a orb box. Tansyahan talaga yung
Yeah.
nagaganap natin
Yeah.
ngayon. Like right now, if there's gonna be someone who'll be allowed to split push, it is given it's gonna be the Trundle. You send the Maokai there. We have a 4-1 configuration. Rest of the members will be sent in the top lane. And it's a matter of time. As you mentioned, we go back to the same discussion. How will the other team react should ever multiple members are sent to the one who is split pushing?
Yeah, but it seems like it might be too dangerous to focus on either Dazai or Asidi here because the Baron is up once again. So it will be very dangerous here. So if ever a fight breaks out here in the bot lane, they will converge around the Baron pit, trying to take advantage of that. And then once that happens, it's going to be the top laners teleporting to that side of the Baron pit. So it's a really, really intricate dance here. Very spicy tango coming from Adamson University and Technological University of the Philippines, Manila. It seems like they will stay here a little bit for a little more sieging, because they do have the option here to siege. They have Infernal Drake for a little bit of more damage for that wave clear and that poke. They have Piercing Arrow. They have Scatter the Weak to just and the Dragon's Rage to just kick away and push away any of these interlopers.
A
And
battle
course,
of mental attrition.
yeah, it's a battle of it's a battle of mental attrition.
Everyone
here.
has wave clear.
Yeah.
Everyone has secured vision. Everyone will recall para i-refresh yung kanilang vision. Seriously, anyone who initiate would be in a position to lose.
This is a very, very ballroom dance thing going on here. Is that you take a step forward, I take a step back, you spin me around. And it seems like TUP right now is...
That's very detailed, by the way.
Yeah, it's very detailed. It seems like both of the teams, the decision-making will be as detailed as that part of the dance, because you can't just initiate willy-nilly and hope you win. You have to take the right decision here. Playing around his Baron, it seems like TUP is taking a step forward here.
They know Abyssal Void is still available. Not gonna need that, as Cadence is gonna be leading the front line in the flank position. There is the Lee Sin. DPS comes in from the Baron. Now one is trapped on the Baron pit. Sonic Wave connects. Do they have the vision? GC here is trapped by Asenja. They don't have any Syndra. And the mid laner of Addison University is lost. TUP decides to fight. Puts in a sustain from the Monsoon. 1v1 from Simone and Chan. Chan wins that one. 3 members gone from Adamson University. And TUP might be looking to close this game. Look at that. There's going to be the Shockwave not connecting onto anyone. Orb will be running for his life. Redemption. And Pilar for the ice. For the slow in the back line. There is Dazai. The last man standing here for Adamson University is going to be Orb. Will be able to defend his base. Yes, he will against the minions. But it's going to be the Baron for TUP.
And that was so good from TUP. And when we were looking at that fight, Nav1 was at like quarter HP, and when we were seeing them spin that fight around in their favor, he was already at full health because of the heals that he got from the Monsoon and everything. This allowed them to take that fight to them, to Adu here, and then clean up, because Adu at that time was the one that was a team that was divided, trying to go for multiple entrances into the Baron pit, and they just get focused on each of their carries who had the attention of There's going to be a 1v1 here between Asidia and GC, and of course not enough to take that out. Chan gets Simone, while the rest of their teams clean up the rest of the non-DPS coming from Adu, and that was just divide and conquer from TUP.
From TUP, yes. They have damage for the damage. TUP has the damage, seriously, for this one.
They stole Adamson's win condition there. And now it seems that they will transition that to a fight here in the Elder Drake.
Despite TUP being the first one on the battlefield, the problem there is that wala si Trundle doon. And Trundle is one of the best form of isolation on
Yeah.
key members here.
Seems like
of Adams
it's
University.
another one of those LCL games where the team focuses too much on the Syndra and they throw because of it.
Everyone's dancing for this Elder Drake,
Yeah,
ladies
it
and
seems like the
gentlemen.
Elder Drake.
Sapling toss, there is the signal. The generation comes in from the Elder Drake as everything is reset. Shockwave of
Oh.
3 members of Adams University. Soon for the sustain.
Oh.
And GC is going to be saying GG once again. You can see the Maokai is gone. Tamkach is gone. Or for the chase. Ace in the hold just for the damage. A sentiment chase as well. Elder Drake in the hands of TUP.
Oh.
And you could see that there are only 2 members remaining from ADU. The authority has been denied. And you could see that Sig, Parvis, Magna, small things become the great things. And you could see that they're gonna finish this game.
Seems like with these death timers, over 40 seconds, and with only Simone trying to fight away these Baron buff plus Elder Drake buff. And here comes the search and win link.
Okay.
Just type that down really quickly and answer the trivia question, and you will get a mystery gift if you are the first within a few working days. It seems like TUP
Yeah,
here
that
is
timer
going to
still
take
marks
that.
on 15
Oh,
seconds.
man.
Of course, you could just go all in for Simon and allow Seja for tanking the 2 Nexus turrets. The first Nexus turret says goodbye, make that the second as well. And ladies and gentlemen, putting the badge, Mastery 7-6 now won, and the rest of the members of SIG, Parvis Magna secures the victory against Adamson University. Wow, it's a very, very convincing win. It's because, you know, I feel like Adamson University has a more superior approach in terms of mechanics
Yes.
and execution of their style, and even in decision making, really. But I think there is that composition-wise,
Yeah,
I'd say,
composition
on that phase of the game.
And the way that TUP adapted to the situations there, they're very empirical in the way that they do things. Okay, this doesn't work, so let's not do this in the next team fight. Okay, that doesn't work again. Let's pay mind to that in the next team fight. And seeing Adu divide and conquer them earlier in the game, they take that information. Okay, let's try dividing and conquer them. We seem to have the better team composition for dividing and conquering. We have the Caitlyn, and then in the end, GC was pulled away. Simone was also isolated by Chan, and that just gave them the buffs and the power to just the momentum to just get the game.
And in
That
my
was a
opinion,
coup d'etat coming from TUP.
in my opinion, Dazi still played well.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
it's just the 7.4 bears heavy for a Maokai.
And look at
really.
Simone, 30,
thir-
almost 34,000, but
yeah.
still very, very difficult with this kind of composition that has the Maokai and the Lee Sin falls off in terms of the damage and the tankiness as well.
And the problem was on the late game. The late game was like easily open up for the Trundle. That's the thing. Maokai still serves his job as a tank in the late game, of course. So there's really no problem there. But it's just that on that late game talaga, bihirang-bihira ka makakahanap ng options
Yes.
against a Trundle that is fed. Trundle bags in 3 early kills in that game. Just because of the laning phase, of that prolonged laning
even
phase.
though the power plateaued in coming into later, even if the laning phase was extended,
Pag yung late game phase na, hindi naman na si Maokai tsaka si
Yeah.
Trundle yung maglalaban eh.
yeah, it's gonna be the entire teams
The
there.
entire team. And Trundle, he doesn't even need to tank really. He just isolate a member. Because Caitlyn was left out to
Chan?
to provide sustained damage for tanks. Now, tanks' inherent weaknesses are sustained damage. Also mentioning that in terms of laning phase talaga, this is like a win lane, win game scenario where it's a Maokai, of course, the nerfs on him, and of course there's Caitlyn as well. Not really a strong pick, but because of the starting item of the Varus, there is the Tear of the Goddess.
I think the way to graph the power levels here coming from TUP is a valley. Is that they started off relatively well in the early game. Mid lane, they kind of plateaued because they didn't take advantage of their advantage. But later in the game, they just scaled straight upwards compared to Adu there. And that was very well played.
It's about the
very
phase
adaptive.
from
team.
both ends of the map. Consistency. Consistency lang yung ginawa. Yung mid lane, it's a pretty even. Halos pantay lang yan sa battle of mechanics talaga. And you don't expect anyone to die there unless there's a mistake to be done. Actually, mad props there for the Hecarim.
Yes.
He was the one who's
Very
always been setting
aggressive,
up for the...
very pressure.
Yeah, for the
a lot
Orianna.
of pressure coming from the jungle rather.
Orphs did a good job as well. but always just to
Just a few
mitigate,
seconds late.
just to mitigate that
Damage
aggression
control.
of damage control lang yung nangyari. Hindi talaga to lead.
It's,
to make
it's
a
like the thing with medicine, it's better to prevent than to cure.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the thing. And he was the cure during that time.
Yeah.
He was just the cure during that time. Ladies and gentlemen, biggest congratulations for Adamson University. That's still a 1-1 for this episode, for the stream episode. Do take note na may laban pa rin po, syempre, ang Technological University of the Philippines. This time, we're gonna be seeing Sig Parvis Magna facing up a very strong team, FEU.
IT,
Yes.
Tamarars.
Information Technology, Tamarars, diba?
Yeah.
Nice name na, Tamarars, diba? Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, what a nice game that is. That's gonna be the game 2 of today's episode. We still have game 3, and of course, nakita nyo rin kanina yung ating search and win trivia. Yung link natin papunta doon sa trivia. Mamaya, announce po natin yung aming winners. Ladies and gentlemen, kami po yung naging shoutcasters for that game. I am Shinbu with a 1 for an I. And of course, with me is Atlas. This is the third week of the Lenovo LCL 2017 Spring Term. And we'll be right back for the third game. We'll be walking to the drive rush, but the front line of Adamson University is just too much. Phantom at Penguin Authority na merong Tamkens, Palaka, on! Sonic Wave, Resonating Strike, Flash in, Final Kick, Flash out! And that's gonna foil the plans of Orb. Shockwave still completed, and Orb will go down. Here that the Maka is gonna be delivered here in this bottom lane, and that's how Cadenza available. Not gonna hit that, as Cadenza is gonna be leading the front line in the flag position. There is the Lee Sin. DPS comes in from the battle. Now ball is trapped on the battle pit. Sonic Wave connects. Do they have the vision? GC here is trapped by Ascension. They don't have any Syndra. And the mid laner of Adamson University is lost. TUP decides to fight. Puts in a sustain from the Monsoon. 1v1 from Simone and Chan. Chan wins that one. 3 members gone from Adamson University. And TUP might be looking to close this game. Look at that. There's going to be the Shockwave not connecting onto anyone. Orb will be running for his life. Redemption. And Pilar for the ice. For the slow in the back line. There is Dazai. The last man standing here for Adamson University. Regeneration comes in from the Elder Drake as everything is reset. Shockwave on 3 members of Adamson University. Monsoon for the sustain. And GC is gonna be saying GG once again. You can see the Maoka is gone. Damage is gone. Or for the chase. Ace in the hold just for the damage. Ascension chase as well. Elder Drake in the hands of TUP. And you can see that there are only 2 members remaining from ADU. The authority has been denied. And you can see that Sig, Parvis, Magna, small things become the great things.
Elder Drake buff, and here comes the search and win link. Just type that down really quickly and answer the trivia question, and you will get a mystery gift if you are the first within a few working days. It seems like
yeah, that timer still marks on 15 seconds. Of course, you could just go all in for Simon and allow Senja for tanking the 2 Nexus turrets. The first Nexus turret says goodbye, make that the second as well. And ladies and gentlemen, putting the badge, Mastery 76 now won, and the rest of the members of Sig Parvis Magna secures the victory against Adamson University.
I'm good to go, and I'm going nowhere fast. Could be worse, it could be taking you there with me. I'm good to go, and though it looks like I'm still on my own, I'm good to go, but something golden. Though the when I say 2 more weeks, my foot is in the door. Yeah, all you can see in the wake of Saturday, when these open doors were open again. Saturday, yeah, when these open doors were open again. And I read about the afterlife, but I never really lived. I read about the afterlife, but I never really lived. 2 more weeks, my foot is in the door. Me and Pete in the wake of Saturday, when these open doors were open and then Saturday, when these open doors were open and then Saturday. can't give in when all is lost and daylight ends. I'll carry you and we will live forever, forever, PM on my feet and staggering through misplaced words and a sinking feeling. I got carried away. Sick of sleeping on the floor. Another night, another score. I'm jaded, bottles breaking. You're only happy when I'm wasted. I point my finger, but I just can't place it. Feels like I'm falling in love when I'm falling to the bathroom floor. I remember how you tasted. I've had you so many times, let's face it. Feels like I'm falling in love alone. Stella, would you take me home? Stella, would you take me home? 2 a.m. I'm on a blackout binge again. You know I don't need sleep and I lost my keys, but I got so many friends and they keep me coming back for more. Another night, another score. I'm faded, bottles breaking. You're only happy when I'm wasted. I point my finger, but I just can't place it. Feels like I'm falling in love when I'm falling to the bathroom floor. I remember how you tasted. I've had you so many times, let's face it. Feels like I'm falling in love alone. Stella, would you take me? One more reason I should never have met you. Just another reason I could never forget you. Down we go. The room's spinning out of control. Lose myself in a chemical moment. Night light's taking its toll. That's just the way it goes. Come on, Stella, would you take me home? I point my finger, but I just can't place it. Feels like I'm falling in love alone. Stella, would you take me home? You're only happy when I'm wasted. I point my finger, but I just can't place it. Feels like I'm falling in love when I'm falling to the bathroom floor. I remember how you tasted. I've had you so many times, let's fix it. Feels like I'm falling in love alone. Stella, would you take me home? You're only happy when I'm wasted. I point my finger, but I just can't place it. Feels like I'm falling in love when I'm falling to the bathroom floor. I remember how you tasted. I've had you so many times, let's face it. I am right here with you. I couldn't be more close. Pretending that I'm in this moment when I'm only a ghost. I listen to the words you're saying, words I'm fighting to believe. It's like I'm living from a distance where you're out of reach. I wanna feel it when I mean it, when I say it. Can you hear
Hello everyone, and we welcome you back to the
Yeah.
Lenovo LCL 2017 Spring Term. We are your shoutcasters for this game. I am Vulcan, and joining with me is Shimbu. One for
Ladies,
nine.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for that, Vulcan. Of course, as an update to you, we are supposed to broadcast the game here. That is our Game 3 to be played between Far Eastern University Information Technology College versus Technological University of the Philippines. Now, the thing here is that, guys, as an update po para sa inyo, this game won't proceed na po. And Far Eastern University Information Technology will be winning this game as Technological University of the Philippines, just as an update to us, has defaulted for the game. Okay? So that's a victory now. Instant
It's a
victory,
victory
for FEUIT for their 2 games today. And that's gonna be a 1-1 for TUP as they were able to bag in a victory on that game 2 against Adamson University Penguin Authority. Now, the reason for that, guys, is that yung top laner po dito ng TUP, si Asedja po, the Trundle earlier, he has a game for the Piltovers Finest. Okay, he has a game for the Piltovers Finest. Now, same with our leagues, same with LCL, with Lenovo LCL, we are very strict with our time. Hindi lang naman dito sa LCL, pati nga rin po sa Piltovers Finest at sa lahat ng mga tournaments po natin. So, Asedja was made to choose
Yes.
kung ano yung lalariin niya. And I think he opted for the Piltovers Finest. And the thing about that is, of course, for the substitute, the available substitute for TUP's ranks. Now, for the substitute here of TUP's ranks, every game po kasi we list here kung sino yung mga maglalaro. Even for the sub, okay? Now, yung maglalaro sana for the top lane na sub ng TUP, ang delegation niya is top and jungle. Top or jungle. And he was delegated already, si Chan, if I'm not mistaken, the Hecarim, sa jungle. So, hindi na talaga siya pwede maglaro sa top kasi walang magtitake ng jungle. Same goes for the other subs, if there is, na maglaro for the top lane. Because there is, of course, this roster lock-in po muna bago tayo pumasok sa mga laro natin. Just so you guys have an idea of paano nagpo-proceed to itong ating laro. Siyempre, we are a very, very professional league. And of course, everything should be secured, should be on paper, of course, should be done properly and according to the show for all of us to enjoy. Now, syempre, ano na yan? Paano yung ating search and win? Trivia question! Diba? Sayang naman. I know, guys. I know. Sadly, hindi po siya mapupunta sa akin. Ayan. So, mamaya po, we're gonna have 2 trivia questions. 2 links ang lalabas para sa ating Game 4 played between University of Caloocan City versus University of the East. Okay? So, di ba? Ano yan?
Yeah, you don't lose anything.
Oo, as in, pinagsama sa isang episode. And I have high expectations for these 2 teams. On top of that, it's gonna be explosive game. We have two mystery gifts to be given away. So, ayan po. Yan po yung updates namin for today. Tuloy-tuloy lamang po tayo. Tuloy-tuloy lamang po tayo, but we're gonna hold a break. Okay? We'll be resuming our broadcast this 5 p.m.
Yes,
Mamaya 5 p.m.
that's going to be our
Less than
next
an hour.
game.
Yeah, next game. Less than an hour, ladies and gentlemen. Again, maraming salamat po sa mga nanood kanina ng games namin. Sa mga mag-stay dyan lamang po kayo. Earth muna. Earth Sesh, di ba? Bilis lang yan. Ladies and gentlemen, kami po ang inyong naging announcer. Okay, para dito, for this game na hindi natuloy, I'm Shinbu with a 1, 4, and I. And of course, with me is Vulcan. We'll be right back for Game 5 for Lenovo LCL 2017 Spring Week 3.
Where is your boy tonight? I hope he is a gentleman. Maybe he won't find out what I know. You were the last good thing about this part of town. When I wake up, I'm willing to take my chances on who I forget that you hate him more than you notice. I wrote this for you. You need him, I could be him, I could be him. Dancing a gentleman. Maybe we'll find out. I know you were the last good thing about this sport. Where is your 49? I hope he's a gentleman. Maybe we'll find out. I know you were the last good thing about this sport of town. Check, yes, Juliet, are you with me? Rain is falling down on the sidewalk. I won't go until you come outside. Check, yes, Juliet, kill the limbo. I'll keep tossing rocks at your window. There's no turning back for us tonight. Lace up your shoes. Here's how we do. Run, baby, run. Don't ever look back. They'll tear us apart if you give them the chance. Don't sell your heart. Don't say we're not meant to be. Run, baby, run. Forever we'll be you and me. Check, yes, Juliet, I'll be waiting, wishing, wanting yours for the taking. Just sneak out and don't tell a soul goodbye. Check, yes, Juliet, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, now fall in my arms now. They can't change the locks, don't let them change your mind. Lace up your shoes.